Okay, let's go ahead and call this to order at 6:06, June 3rd. Pledge of allegiance, please. Pledge of allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Settle in, everybody. Might be a long evening. Depends.
Depends on how fast you can talk.
Yeah.
Just talk fast.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Kevin Farkas?
Here.
Miss Sue Wood?
Here.
Mr. Jason Swin?
Present.
Mayor?
Here.
Mr. John McAdoo?
Here.
Mr. Bob Tate?
Yep.
Mr. Jesse Baker?
Here.
Okay, we have a physical quorum. We can conduct business if we choose to. Just a couple notes here on decorum. If you want to get rambunctious, you know.
Oh, you want me to start?
Just remember, we're recording here tonight. Let's be respectful of everybody. So say hey, Nora. Please silence your phones or put them on vibrate, please.
I love that you become Aunt Nora. Aunt Nora.
And do we all have copies of the agenda? It's up here on the screen. Here, there's a lot of physical copies going around here. Okay. You don't get a chance to see this agenda. Anything you want to change on it? It was published 24 hours in advance as per the Sunshine Act.
I just want to make a comment about the water smell and the taste of it right now, because I have some information on that. I had a couple people ask me about it, so.
Okay, okay, that's just informational. You want to just share that later?
That's, you tell me where,
Okay,
so
why don't we, how about when we get down to public works?
that's fine.
Okay.
I didn't see, I read over the one you sent. I didn't see anything where we're going to talk about getting Tina on the payroll.
Yeah, we have under governance, no, I'm sorry, under general administration, we have a section here under human resources for job descriptions, terms, conditions of employment, right there.
Oh, okay, I see it. Now I see it. Planning, zoning, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Okay. And, the purpose of this meeting is to discuss and conversate about all this good stuff that we're working on, lots of stuff we're working on, and to also tee up things for business at our business meeting, which is next Wednesday. So we do have some things that are already being teed up. So there's a lot of discussion tonight. We will go into an executive session after good and welfare here at the end. So without further ado, move into it. If we all approve this agenda, does it look good? Okay. Okay, any citizens that would like to speak?
Me.
Okay. Nora, who are you and where do you live?
Nora Seuss, 102 37th Street Extension.
Okay. What's on your mind?
Well, I've been so busy that I really didn't realize till 2 days before the rental at the end of the month that it needed, go down there and clean everything up, which I spray all the way around the kitchens with the bug stuff and in the bathroom, so I knew there would be dead bugs like on the ground and stuff. Cleaned that all up. Had to have Kathy's son come down because all the Easter eggs and a bunch of the Christmas stuff was in the kitchen shelter. Take it all down. He took it down to shelter 1. Then the next morning I got up at 6 o'clock and went down there because there was gravel all over both of the pavilions, and then all the tables, somebody wrote with chalk all over them. They put dirt on them, they put sand on them. So I went down at 6 o'clock in the morning and worked 3.5 hours just cleaning that up, not counting the grill was full of charcoal that was burnt, and I took half of that out, and there's big holes in the bottom of the grill, so they're shot. And then somebody must have had a party before this party. I don't know, because like I said, the grill was full. One of the big blue garbage cans was full. The charcoal bag was on top. There were chicken, like the grilled chicken and stuff. Papers all over the floor. And like I said, all the chalk and everything all over the tables. And I can't lift those big ones. I think we need to get something smaller. I mean, they're huge, you know, and when the bags are full, I can't lift them. And then 2 of the light fixtures underneath the pavilion, the Jubilee Pavilion #2, looks like somebody must have threw rocks or something, they cracked the fixture. 1 and 2 of them, I put light bulbs in, aren't working, and the one that's cracked isn't working. Like I said, there was gravel and rocks and sand everywhere, and I know the grass couldn't be cut, and it was up to my ankles because the mower broke. We need toilet bowl cleaner, we need light bulbs, and the only an issue I have is like I went down there 11 o'clock and unlocked the kitchen and unlocked the bathrooms, turn on the lights under the pavilion. But the people that rented it Sunday, they didn't come till 1. They were having a birthday party. And I apologized to them for the grass being high. I apologized for them for the big, huge garbage thing that I couldn't, you know, clean up. They cleaned all that up themselves. They brought extra garbage bags of their own. They didn't use the kitchen, so she said, we're really not going to use the kitchen. We thought we might, so I really think they need to get refunded for that. And for the garbage and everything they cleaned up, I think we need to give them a little bit back on their rental because, you know, they did an excellent job of cleaning up everything.
I thought you guys was keeping up with the grass. I thought everything was looking good down there.
You said that was Sunday's rental?
That was Sunday rental.
Do you
That
have
was
their name
Dixon.
on, like Dixon? Okay.
And that's another thing. If whoever is going down to unlock it would know exactly what time they're coming. Like I unlocked that at 11 o'clock in the morning. I had to go out to Boardman. So I come back through about 1 and they were just coming. So I hate to leave the kitchen unlocked that long.
Yeah, our contract says 11 to 8. They have it, so they can come at any point.
I
So I
know.
could throw something in there, like,
I was thinking if
Like
whoever's
start
going
time?
to go down would get the phone numbers of the people that are renting it.
Yeah.
And that way you could call and say, hey, you know, I want to unlock the kitchen, but what time do you want me to unlock it? Because I don't know, if you're fine with me unlocking it at 11 and they don't come till 2 o'clock to have a party because they're just having like a big birthday party or something, that's fine with me, but I don't know.
What's written with chalk? Or is it?
Oh,
How much?
I have pictures.
we need to discuss how much on refund.
Was this
They
before
wrote
the
all
rent?
over
It's normally
tables
75
with
for
chalk.
deposit, but
There
we're
was
gonna give them
sand on, I
more.
don't know where they got
I
the
just need to
sand
know.
If they
and
did-
dirt.
They did a nice job cleaning them tables
so
up
30
too.
I know, and they were
105
just
there.
done. Like I said, the grill,
Okay.
The grill
I
job.
was gonna bring my iPad and I didn't. The grill was full of charcoal.
Yeah.
Aunt
Um,
Nora, you said you need toilet bowl cleaner and light bulbs?
Yeah.
I'm ordering it.
And there's like, some of them weren't too bad, but there's chalk on the tables. This was the garbage can that was clear full with garbage all over the place.
That was on Saturday?
This was there before the picnic. So I don't know, somebody had a picnic down there on their
Brian, I
own.
think we should probably start checking the shelters before you guys leave on Fridays because they're rented on the weekends.
But somebody had a big picnic, cause they're, like I
That's
said.
fine, I was just sitting here telling her
Mhm.
that we need to know when there is a rental.
They're on the
Because just like we
calendar.
down there cleaning them woods out, I was trying to stay busy to get that done, and the grass wasn't that bad. So I just let it go over the weekend, we cut it Monday.
Well, I didn't know that there was a,
Okay,
picnic.
let me stop you here.
And look at them.
Because this is actually on the agenda, under culture and rec. There's
Oh.
a section here on how
That
we
is
might better
cement.
handle the park shelter rental, the whole program from
Tire marks.
beginning of the season after, what do we do like
Probably
this?
from
So we need to work
little
through
quad
this
or
out and put some
I have
stuff
no
in.
idea
Little-
what's
That's
going on.
Mini bike.
Yeah, they're doing mini bikes and
That's
scooters
the
now.
Jubilee shelter. It must be a mini bike. There's black marks all over.
Could you send me those?
Do we have any signs down there that say no?
I think Jason's working on it to get one
Isn't
done.
there something down there that says no vehicle or no
Yeah, this is silent.
no motorcycles or ATVs or something?
Yeah.
Unlicensed.
And another thing is, I didn't realize that the park apparently was rented, shelter number 3, which is no big deal. Somebody rented it on the 3rd of May. I didn't know there was one that early. So if they rented it, they had no use to the bathroom because it wasn't unlocked.
Right.
So I don't know what you want to do with that if you, if they rented it and
Well, the season actually begins May 1st.
I
That
didn't
was
know,
outside
yeah,
of
we've
it.
never had rentals till the end of May before, so.
Yeah,
I didn't look
forgot.
until
So,
a couple days
thank,
before.
thank you for all of your volunteer work. That's just awesome you do that. And
I got
thank you-
another
Yeah.
thing too. The end of June, I'm going down for my grandson's graduation in Virginia, so it's rented for 3 days at the end of June. I won't be here. And then there's times in July I have a few things to do, so we need somebody else to open up the park for those times.
Right. So we have this on the agenda. There's a section under culture and rec, under programming, the need for operating procedures around the park rental concession.
Okay.
And I really think we should give some thought to this and just take some time to set this up right so we're all on the same page. You know what's going on, you know what's going on. I know what's going on with the calendar. Jenna obviously needs to know what's going on. So I think we can coordinate this, but let's talk about this when we get there. But thank you.
Okay.
If you're buying stuff for there, you need to get some term bills and get paid for it. We don't expect you to be paying
Well, I
for
just
light
had like,
bulbs or whatever.
no, I didn't buy any, that's why I said we need
I'm
light bulbs
ordering them.
now.
Okay.
And I used all the toilet bowl cleaner that was down there.
I actually have new lights that's going in that pavilion.
Okay,
We're getting rid of them.
So don't
Light
order
bulbs.
light bulbs,
No, don't order a light
Okay.
bulb.
okay,
just toilet bowl cleaner.
but definitely toilet bowl cleaner.
Gotta clean those toilet bowls.
I got all LED lights I'm gonna put in there.
Nice.
Like
Yeah, I
they put in
have,
the garage.
I had that home
Pages
defense
over 'em.
that I use around my house.
Putting them up in the roof.
So I just used what I had left over down at the kitchen, cause I don't, you know, you don't want bugs in the kitchen,
No.
you know.
Nora, we need more volunteers like you. Can you
Oh.
scrounge us up some folks? Because you're doing an awesome job. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anything else? Any other citizens? No? Okay. Let's move on to reports and discussions. Office of Mayor, you'll notice here, for each one of these areas here, the lead-off section here is something called a budget watch. And I think it's about time for us to start thinking about our budget. So July is our, starting our third quarter. July is when we're also gonna start thinking about the budget, doing some budget calculations to see where we are on things. So I'm just asking you, how's the budget in your world?
In my world per mayor is good.
You're good? Have you
Good.
used anything?
I used a little bit to pay for the flags that are up at the honor roll and the memorial down at the,
$36 is what
Right.
you used.
Okay. And
Okay.
when you have budgetary items, like you turn in receipts, make sure you
Right.
sort of mark that
right.
so we can sort of keep track of that, because we're eventually gonna have to, add all this stuff up, figure out what's what. If we're gonna have an accurate budget for next year, you want that, John, you want an accurate 27.
No, I got an accurate job, I don't wanna do it.
Okay, so, Mayor, you've been working on some of the neighborhood watch stuff?
Yes, I didn't set up a meeting yet. It's a little bit early. I'm hoping like maybe July would be good with fire department and Beaver Falls officers to start up in September.
Okay,
Okay?
Okay.
We'll start with 1 day a month.
okay.
Okay. And then the status for the community cleanup day, I was hoping Saturday, because it's not supposed to rain till Saturday night. That's a bad day.
There's a lot of people who said they couldn't do it. Did you
Okay.
see the, WhatsApp? Yeah, a lot of people can't do it.
Okay,
So,
okay.
Why don't we give ourselves at least a week lead time? We can wrangle up the support. We need to get more people out. So
Okay.
let's try to do that, maybe next Saturday or something.
Okay. It's just so hard with weather. Okay. I just knew this Saturday was good, but
We'll just keep,
She said,
so,
Okay.
so do you think that, do you think the 13th might be a good day?
yeah, I just don't know what weather's coming.
Well,
Okay.
Let me get this on, as a tentative next day, okay?
Okay.
Just so you know that the shelter is rented, shelter 2 that day too.
Okay, we can always go to another shelter.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
can meet, and we meet in the morning, we're out of there early anyways. Okay, good, anything else, Mayor?
No, that covers me there. Wait, yes. We're at 6th Avenue, Brian. At the end of West 6th that cuts to 37th Street, there is a tree that's coming out of the hillside that's growing right in front of the stop sign. Is there some way you and Gerald can just cut those branches away? I think you should wear gloves. I'm not sure if that's a poison sumac tree or something. Can you just get part of it or some of it?
At
I
the
don't-
end of West Sixth.
Yeah, it's right into the stop sign.
Okay.
Yeah, it's partially covering it. And I don't think the lady there would even care if you took the damn thing out.
Okay.
It's like a bush thing. That's one thing. And then I'll blend in with Justin about all the residents that have been calling me about the smelly water. I know they've been calling you too, so I've had to go taste their water.
That's a bubble.
I mean, there's nothing I can do.
Even a
I
mama
bought,
didn't do that.
we drink water. We drink Tyler water.
Oh,
That's,
yeah.
you know,
Tastes real good.
Tyler water.
I got a cooler.
I
Yeah.
mix mine with lemonade, I don't even notice it.
Yeah.
I don't drink the
Tina
water.
does, she yells about it all the time.
Okay, Mayor, thank you.
Okay,
Thank you. Our real estate tax collector is not here. We were gonna ask her the same thing. How's her budget doing? And, oh, Mayor, so PEOP, by the way, that's Public Education and Outreach Programming. Okay? And so for Kathy, we talked about one time about PEOP for her, which is, you know, getting the citizens to understand taxation, how that works, deadlines, all that sort of stuff. It's part of what we do. Okay, so let's move on here into council. Our first area here is budget and finances. We have quite a few things. You'll also see for the beginning of these areas, there's an operations/administrative program, which is basically your budget. You have everything you need for your oversight, accountability, duties, you know, all that sort of stuff. If you're spending any money out of your discretionary area, that kind of fits in that realm there too. So, Justin, under budget and finances, how's your budget doing?
I couldn't tell you. So,
That's good honesty. We need to have that.
yeah. I mean, I don't have. I personally am not spending any money, so I would assume whatever budget is allocated to me is okay. But the overall budget, you know, we have to deal with. So.
Okay. Well, how about our big budget, the municipal budget here? So you'll see here, and by the way, let me show you this before we get into this, because I think this is important here. Where are we here? Okay, so if you look at these Monday memos, so this is the calendar views here. So in June, for example, you'll see, where are we here? So we're here June 3rd. So you'll see council work session here. On June 1st, there was an opportunity for repairing restoration tree planting initiative that closed out. Sunday, May 31st, you'll see there was a Greenway Trails and Recreation grant that closed out. There was another grant that closed out. We were supposed to have the request for bids published out there by the end of May 31st. That's on the calendar. We ain't gonna make that. So next week we have our business meeting. This is where I want to submit a draft of the emergency operations plan to our emergency management coordinator for review. On the 15th, we've got a PennDOT report that's due. And we have our annual outfall inspection report that is due. Brian, you know anything about that? we'll work that out. It's on the calendar. And then on the 15th, I want to submit, pending our emergency management coordinator stuff, I want to submit that plan to the county here. So anyways, this is what these, the calendars look like, and all the due things and grants, when they come open, when they close. For example, on June 30th, we should be receiving our Act 13 impact fee. That's unconventional gas fee, so I have that on there. If we have disbursements like foreign fire insurance, which will go to the fire department in October, that's on the calendar. So this is a tool for all of us so we don't forget and we can stay up on this. So please look at these. You can go to the municipal planner link here and you can see the actual thing. This is what the sausage end of it looks like. But here's a 26 calendar view. You can just go down every month. It goes 27, 20, all the way out to 2030. all these things that we do annually that come up, they're all on this calendar now, and it's a working document, so we'll continue to add more stuff to it. Okay, so that's gonna be a very useful tool for all of us. There. Okay. So, speaking of that, on the tool, a year-to-date budget to actuals report coming up in July. Could you do that?
Not currently, but
Not currently?
I think we have at least a discussion below to go ahead and try to get that taken care of. That's all.
It's on our radar.
Yeah,
on the calendar.
it's with the QuickBooks
Yeah.
stuff and whatnot. So.
Okay, and so asking everybody about their budgets is, we're all getting our heads around this whole budget thing. And also in July, an annual review of the fixed assets, that's also probably QuickBooks related in there. So that's that. That's up for the budget. Community economic development. In July, we have our roundtable.
Yes, we do.
We're good to go. That's on the calendar as well.
How many people responded to that?
I have created a letter, which I'm gonna send to Kevin to have him print on, one copy on, borough,
Letterhead.
yeah, letterhead. And then I'm gonna send the letters out July 1st, because it's not till July 18th. I don't wanna send them out too soon, people won't remember that they're going to do that. So I'm gonna count up the, RSVPs that I get back. I'm gonna put self-addressed stamped envelopes in with the large business envelope with the letter, and we'll strip at the bottom to tear off saying I so-and-so will attend, will not attend. So we'll have an idea. 27 businesses.
Yeah.
So we'll see what we get. We'll have donuts and coffee, I guess, and we'll see what happens.
Nice.
And remember, we have $1,000 budgeted for CED.
For donuts and coffee?
Yeah, don't spend $1,000 on it.
$1,000
Steak
for donuts.
dinner.
But that, we do have 1,000 for this particular area, so if you need anything, that we have the money.
Well, I'm kind of hoping that the room looks
Better.
better than
Presentable.
this, but I don't know. I mean, again, July 18th. I don't know. We'll talk about
Well,
it.
me and Kathy did talk about maybe next week start painting if we could, we need some help too, you know.
Sure. Yeah, most of them will help. Sure.
Yeah,
Anything
next
else?
week school's done, yeah, let me know.
Anything else for the roundtable?
No, I just follow up with you because I need, you just print me a copy so I can get copies made.
Okay. Justin, contracts and agreements. I think this kind of shares with general administration, this area here. I don't know if you know, we had an overpayment to the city of Beaver Falls of $300 something. So what we actually paid invoice and what the contract said, was there was like a $300 discrepancy. We overpaid that. Did you ever follow up on that?
No, I'm gonna be honest, no.
Okay. Let's go ahead and follow up on
Yeah.
that. I don't know why that is.
So we got invoiced more
Yeah, then the
than
contract.
what the contract did.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, don't know why, whatever.
Is this the same thing that kind of happened where they didn't bill us enough last year or something like that? So is that the even out?
Are they invoicing both services at once?
Yeah, it goes all together.
On
It's
one
it's
invoice?
one invoice, yeah,
Oh, that's
for
we should-
police and fire.
We should separate that out, because they're two different contracts, two different economic.
Yeah, that's just how they send it. I mean, I can ask them
Yeah.
to separate it, but
Would you ask them to separate
Yeah.
that? That would be better for our finances, so we can keep clear.
I mean, it shows on the invoice what's each one. Like what the cost for each one is, like for police and for fire.
Oh, it does?
It does show the difference,
Okay,
yeah.
if it's,
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
oh, yeah, that's fine.
As
Okay,
long as it's not.
It's just like
not-
the bottom's the total for both.
right. Okay. So, I don't know what's going on there, but, this is part of our, our new effort to really pay attention to our fiscal obligations, contractual obligations here.
Actually, it's perfect timing because the Q2 is due in June. So I can call right before I pay the invoice.
Okay,
So that's like perfect.
the contracts are online, we have those online, so you could if you need to access that, that's definitely in the municipal. If you don't see it, let me know.
Okay.
So you can verify that. Okay. Alrighty. So in June, we have a contractual obligation with the fire department to have a little meeting to see how we're doing. It's worded in the contract as an informal meeting, so we'll need to set that up. So do you want to set that up for public safety? Just call Mark Stowe and see, maybe coordinate. Do you want to be involved with that?
Yeah, sure.
It is a contractual thing, but it's really more about performance.
Yeah.
Do we have any preferences as to when we do this?
No, why don't you just make it and then organize us to it, rather than herding cats the other way, okay? And if it's
My
just-
availability is usually after 5 o'clock. So if it's possible,
And if it's just you there, okay, well, you're the most important person.
and if we want to kill two birds with one stone, maybe do it 15 minutes before the public meeting or something like that, that might work out better for them.
Maybe we get Mark here.
Well, that's a really good idea, because he comes anyway, or he
Yeah.
sends a delegate, so.
If you go down and meet him at the fire station, you have a cup of coffee and some donuts.
I don't
You
drink
tour
coffee or eat donuts, but okay.
I like going to that first.
You do?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can.
Anyway, that's the task.
You're a boy.
That's the task. We need to do that. That's in the
Touch the
contract.
top. Okay.
Okay. And so our police contract is up December 31st, so we have now a policy that 6 months before these contracts are due, we're gonna get that on our radar, we're gonna start this conversation with the service provider, or whatever. So we've never done that before as far as I know, but we learned a lesson last year. And if we don't learn from our mistakes, you know, we don't know what we're doing.
Do you know if there's a renewal clause on that by chance?
I think there is some sort of language.
That's like every 3 years, because the last meeting was Lou and Wendy.
I think it goes up a certain percentage.
Sure.
It has to go up, the terms, the 3-year
Right.
term goes up, so. But we should start that conversation with Chief Johnson. I'm sure he would be glad to talk to us about it. And if we have any issues with the police, now's the time. Because you know he wants to do our business.
So I'm not gonna call him, I'm just calling fire chief, not police chief.
Yeah, and so, I don't know.
No, that's okay.
You know what, Mike, why don't you set that up too? Why don't you just reach out to the chief and say,
Should have kept my mouth shut.
hey, just to remind you that our contract's up. You know?
Okay,
And
so,
you don't have to set up a meeting now, but I think it'd be good just to get this out there.
okay.
Is our contract up?
Yeah, so
Oh,
it expires December 31st.
That's the 3 years.
And we're gonna be paying a heck of a lot more, a lot more. So that's in the realm of contracts and agreements there. What's on our radar here? Financial management records and reporting. So in July, so we passed a policy, if you remember, an annual fraud risk assessment policy. This was at the advice of our auditor. We passed that. A clause in there is, let's see what it would be. There's a clause here that we will have an annual fraud risk assessment. So conducted by the Budget and Finance Oversight Chair to basically identify any risks, notable things, assess where we are with our control policies, that sort of stuff. This is right out of the agreement that we passed, right? I say if we, in July, we work with whatever we have to work with on this, and let's produce something
That's fine.
for this so we can check off that box and we'll be consistent.
Yeah, this is the fraud policy that we just passed last meeting.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. So, but that's coming up in July. And it's also in this area, contracted financial services with Butler, Agnew and Associates. We have 2 proposals. I sent those out to everybody to get a chance to see them. They're rather detailed.
is there a number on? Are we?
Like costs?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I missed it. I wasn't gonna read that whole thing. I kind of looked it over and didn't see the number.
Justin, I'm going, well, let's see, here it is.
I have a summary of it too as well, but like just to kind of preface the conversation is Butler Agway proposed two solutions for us to kind of prepare our financial records and reconciliations for the 2025 budget and going forward, if that's the case, about doing all the financial records so that it's completely kind of like in their ballpark. So with that being said, the discussion should really just maintain their proposal, what it means to the borough, and what we're doing to kind of get to complete the 2025 budget. That's
Yeah, I seen a lot of blah, 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 but
there's a lot of blah 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 in it.
And I was
Yeah.
not gonna read all that.
So their proposal, why this came about is because the borough is behind on the 2025 budget, and basically the audit. Sorry, yeah, the 2025 audit, and the documents that they need would be very difficult for us to generate with the information that we have right now. So their informational meeting that we had with them last week was basically, this is our professional recommendation, this is what we would do, and to keep from ever getting into that situation, this is the other proposal. So those two proposals are there. The summary of it is basically the audit prep. I don't know if you want me to go into details on that, because I don't know if you have a summarized version of this, but the price is basically $105 an hour is what they're quoting for putting all the reconciliations, all the trial balances. Basically, the primary task would be posting all transactions on a cash basis into the accounting system, preparing the monthly bank reconciliation for all the accounts for that year. And they basically are quoting it as open-ended, but they're estimating that it's going to take about 30 to 35 hours total. So that estimated cost just for the 2025 budget, or audit, sorry, I keep mistaking that, is $3,150 to $3,675.
I missed that part.
So 4,000 on the high end.
Yeah, and that's like right in the middle. If you kind of scroll down, it says terms and it says what they're quoting, but it's not really broken down into a.
Yeah, right here.
Yeah.
105 an hour, estimate take 30, 35 hours there from that. So.
And then they also proposed another solution to basically get 2026 on track, and just going forward to do it automatically every single month, prepare the monthly financials, basically take all of that off of or basically separate the role between treasurer and secretary. And they quote that at about 10 to 12 hours on a monthly basis, which annually that would be between 13,000. It's $12,600 and $15,120. A couple caveats to that is they wouldn't be able to be our independent auditor anymore, so we'd have to switch them.
But they said they'd find somebody for us.
But yeah, they would find someone. That's basically the notes that I have on what they proposed.
That's all I needed. That's all I needed. If you'd have just said that,
Bottom line kind of guy.
instead of
It's a bottom
having
line.
30 pages of.
It was a lot to get through.
Oh my
yeah.
God, I can't believe you even read it.
So, from our meeting,
Did you read that?
No, I looked at it.
Yeah, I didn't even.
I believe the
I don't read
consensus
things
is
like that. They
that
don't
this is
go
really,
to the head anymore.
and to make this happen, there will be two resolutions on the table. And we have to do this by resolution, accepting these proposals. So those resolutions will be on the table.
Okay, so prior 24 audit, so those were already done, right?
20, up through 24 stuff.
Okay, so who prepared, did they prepare them before?
They did,
They did those as well?
they did.
Okay. No, I mean, getting everything, same thing, along the same lines and same,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, they certainly know our finances. They've been our
Okay, good.
auditors for a long time,
Okay, long
years
time.
and years. Yeah, so, and they're the professionals, so this will get us on a good footing here. So, okay, so that's where we are with that. Anything else that's on that?
That's just their proposal, so that's,
So this contract, will this be year to year?
the two contracts, one would be just for the 2020, preparing 2025, which I want to say that we're probably going to need that regardless.
Yes.
Yeah.
The ongoing one would be the discussion, if we wanted to separate those roles or not. And, you know, what's best case scenario for the borough? That's what it comes down to. So,
Yeah, I would say if we need to outsource it, this
We
is how we
outsource
do
it,
it.
yep.
If we can do it in-house,
then we do it in-house, yep.
right? The balance
But it'd
is,
be month to month, is that how it is?
Yeah, we would get billed monthly for the time that they take, and this would be everything. So every transaction goes through them, like I mean, it would take a lot off what you're doing currently. So they would just basically be the treasurer of West Mason.
so this would be an ongoing, open-ended basis until we terminate it,
Correct.
actually here, yeah.
You know, just for sake of conversation, we did get another proposal from someone that they recommend, which was higher, for them to do the 2025 audit. So there's other things that we looked at as well, so.
So would they be, would I still be like paying all the bills and stuff that's coming in, or they do that
They would do
now?
it all, anything cash related and reconciliation, anything that would be like a financial report, they
Okay.
would do it, everything money wise.
Okay,
So like.
just because I wasn't able to be at that meeting, so I don't know like all the details. of
That's,
this.
yeah, that's that monthly piece, that's the second proposal, right? The
Right.
first proposal is basically taking all the information you gave them and putting it
Right.
into an accounting system,
Right, which I get, yeah.
That second part is basically doing,
I just haven't heard anything about that, so I wanted to clarify.
yeah, I think how he explained it, it would be basically rendezvousing to pick up payments and checks or bills or something to that nature, right? And they take care of that on either a weekly basis or however
Okay,
it was.
I like that.
So you would probably still help, like, get them the paperwork.
Right, but they
they'll
handle
take-
the actual.
they'll take it. And the payroll, they'll take care of payroll.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, everything.
Oh, holy crap.
Anything
Wow.
treasurer related, it would be that.
That would be huge.
But, I mean,
I mean, because I think we're just being honest here. I just think I'm not good at that stuff. I think we realize that, you know?
I don't think it's anything on you either, and
Right.
like I said, I'd like to keep the discussion more towards like
The
the
proposal.
proposal.
Okay.
Because it's really not a shot at.
Oh, no, I don't feel that
Yeah.
way. Yeah, I don't feel that way.
Yeah.
I just was saying.
and there's probably stuff that we're gonna have to sort of work out, negotiate, figure out as we go, so we'll make this road as we walk it. This is the best thing for the borough.
I agree.
It's the best thing all around for
Yeah.
everybody involved.
I agree.
So, yeah. So, okay, good. All right. So there will be two resolutions on the table next time. Municipal funds and management, that's an area that we have to keep our eye on here. So we have the Pliggett Investment Fund, which we, by resolution, agreed to sweep all of our reserve monies into, so we can maximize the interest on that. So that's still on our radar, right? We did get that?
Yeah, weren't we waiting for the audit to?
It's basically until we know what our
Actual
3 months
budget.
expenses, right? That determines everything that gets put into the Pliget fund, right? So we have to determine what our 3 months expense, and you can't really do that until everything's reconciled through the budget line items, right?
Okay.
You with me on that?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Because whatever's over top of that, that's what will get moved to,
Right.
right? Because I think in the investment policy that we created, it was a 3 months of expense that we were going to keep liquid in our accounts, our regular checking account, and move everything else into Pliget. Yeah. And we just don't have that data.
Okay. So when the time comes, we're better, we know.
We could guess at it, but I don't know if we want to guess at that.
Right.
Right?
Yeah, I think we've discussed that since the beginning. It's just better to be for sure and accurate.
Yeah, because the Pliget, even though it's liquid, it's I think there's a limit on how many checks you can write per month on that. So
Okay.
don't want to get stuck with not having enough money to pay the bills.
Okay. And the bulk of our money is parked in First National Bank, and
Yeah.
it's safe, and we're good to go on that.
Yeah, we're just not gaining interest off it. So
Yeah.
Well, slight interest.
yeah,
Yeah,
but
not as much as we
yeah,
could be.
not the between the 3 and 4 that we were.
We're doing like regular bank interest.
So hopefully, once the 2026 transactions are in and we can do a budget to actual on what we're spending and we have that number of, hey, this is our expenses on average on 3 months, then we have it. Because we don't even have that for 2025. So,
Okay. We're going slowly, and it seems tedious, but we're setting ourselves up for a good place to be down the road, all this stuff. So we still have to deal with the Water and Sewage Enterprise Fund, so we have a task force that's out there. I don't really know, I put some interest out there. I got some feedback from citizens. It wasn't very useful in my view. But I think at some point we're going to have to make decisions around this sewage rate business and the fund policy. At some point, certainly before July would be a good place really to start nailing this in, because that's when we're going to start thinking about our budget. So, if we're going to throw a rate increase on the table, let's do it, and then we'll start planning that into our budget. I don't know what that's going to be, but we just have to do it. We just have to do it. And then the fund policy is like, part of the excess in that fund we can use for our sewer maintenance. And this is what the stamp people pointed out to us. We went from $20,000 extra 5 years ago to $2,000 in 24. No idea where we are in 25. This year, if the trend holds, we might be in the red on that fund. We can pay our bills that are associated with that, the sewage bills. It'll come out of the general fund if we don't have enough revenue from the rate payments. But we have to do something about it, and we are going to do something about it.
and that's the tough part. Without the audits or reconciliation accounting software, it's almost impossible to really determine that. Unless you go through every single monthly municipal report or financial report and really break down individually what that water fund is getting taken out of that, which I don't think we have that of what fund it's coming out of, right? On those financial reports.
Yeah, we have more in there because you've been reporting what you've been writing to Beaver Falls Municipal Authority and now Aqua. I think there are 2 payments to Aqua.
But it's not specifically saying that we're taking that out of that fund.
Well, you should get revenues, right? We should have a revenue line on that in there. But it should be in there, theoretically.
Yeah, I'm just like it's just like it would be a summary line item, and here's a line from Beaver Falls or something that we have to determine instead of looking at what that fund. And basically every transaction hits a line item on an account, so we don't But we don't necessarily have that because we're not in QuickBooks or an accounting software right now, so that's why it's a little different.
Well, we're going there and we know where to go.
We're getting
Right,
there.
So, yeah, we'll be set up. But I think we could still increase the fee sufficiently based on what we know to keep our butts out of the red on this.
Now, does this go with the outflow? Is this counting what they're charging us on the outflow? Is this part of, or is this under?
We don't get billed like that yet, right?
Oh, no, it's coming. Was that the one in
Well,
July?
everyone says that it's coming, but there hasn't been a specific.
From
thing.
Aqua.
Yeah, from Aqua.
That's
yeah.
what I'm saying. When
Yeah,
when
everyone-
is that coming?
I mean,
Does anyone have any idea?
The payment scheme is still the same. The status quo is holding, right? They charge us based on the water usage. right?
Yes, but it's, if they have the outflow meter, they're gonna measure
They don't
that.
have an
What-
outflow meter. There is no outflow meter. That's what I'm saying. Until there is an outflow
the
meter.
thing is that everybody, not everybody, sorry, people in the community believed that Aqua was gonna do this, but Aqua never said that. Aqua never had an intention to do that.
Okay.
And that has been stated multiple times to everybody. Like Aqua has never said, I'm gonna charge from an outflow meter.
Okay.
There was a previous council member who said that once and then it
okay.
flipped and ran. That was
Okay.
never stated.
Are they measuring outflow? Yeah.
Yes.
They're
Yeah,
measuring
they
it, but they're
are
not
doing the
charging
metrics.
it.
Okay.
Yeah, like they said that that it was gonna be charged and that was never stated from Aqua. But it was said once and then ran.
That's good for us to know that outflow.
Yeah.
meter for sure for
Yeah,
our
because
sewer.
we do have, like, our sewers need upgraded and we need to apply for those grants.
Sure.
But without knowing what the 2025 inflation was on that, you know what I mean? Like, I know what the trend, what they said the trend was, but they only took like 3 years of that trend. It could be drastically different now because everything is so much higher. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the figures I ran, we need to raise our rates about 30% just to catch up
Yeah.
with the cumulative.
But that's up to 2024, is that correct?
Up to 24. Well, you could do you
Yeah.
can extend that out 25. Those
Sure.
metrics are there. It's all about 2.8 and about 2.8%.
Yeah.
Right, but cumulatively. So I think we can come up with a number because this is what we're going to have to put this on the books next year if we're going to do it. Right. So in the past they did it in January. So they floated a resolution raising the rates. It was all dialed in. And there's different ways you can do this. I find it really interesting because there's a base rate and then there's a usage component, right? I think we could monkey with that, right, to make it easier on citizens. It depends on where the bulk of that's coming from, the base rate or the overusage, whatever. Anyway, it's a bit complicated, but
Yeah,
we're on
I
it.
can tell you that I think our base rate is like $40 right now or something to that nature.
40, yeah.
And Chippewa, they go through Brady's Run sanitation, and it's I think $118 just minimum, whether you
For
use
a
it
month or for 3 months?
for the quarter. Yeah, right. Yeah. For the quarter.
Yeah, that's base
It's a
rate.
lot
Yeah.
higher.
And then
Even our
they charge on
overusage,
top of
rate, every
that.
1,000 gallons, right, it's overusage, it's the lowest around.
Yeah.
And yeah, there's a reason why everyone else has raised their rates.
Yeah.
There's a reason, so. Okay, good. Anything else under budget finance?
That's all I have, I think, right now. Yeah.
Culture and recreation, Jason, this is your world. How's your budget doing?
Well,
Just
kind of
burn
like
it
what
up?
Justin said, no, I haven't really spent much. I think what, $20? I mean, but not even. And then some of the receipts come in from you get reimbursed from the paint, right? Did you get reimbursed for that?
I think I used the credit card, didn't I?
You did.
Okay, so whatever that comes out of that budget. So whatever
And then the trunk, would that be
trunk or treat.
the stump grinding?
Oh,
Would that
the
come out
tree,
of
yeah.
Parks and Recs?
Yeah, we need to check for Jay.
Public Works?
Mhm.
Okay.
I
Did we
his
have it
invoice.
done?
I'm gonna
It's
put it
already
in
been
the
done?
mailbox.
Yeah,
That's public works.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it looks good.
nice.
What was the final one then?
1,500.
15.
So our room here, now that ad hoc committee, we agreed to extend that to July 1st. We can extend it if we need to, but July 1st, this should be done. Right.
hopefully.
So, Nora, I know you and Kathy have been talking about
Yeah.
getting things going.
Next week,
Okay.
yeah.
So we're gonna move on that. Kathy and I had a conversation about tables and chairs and some ideas and stuff, so you gotta get us a proposal,
Yeah.
right? What it is, so, because we need to appropriate monies.
Are we looking at, banquet tables?
That's what they're saying. That's
I
what
have
they're-
2 8s and a 6 over at the house. I'd love to get rid of it. It's
that'd
the
be
old wooden
great.
ones.
Oh, good ones.
Yeah, I don't like
Like this
carrying them
one.
things away
Like this
around.
one, Bob.
Yeah,
I think that would be great.
Yeah.
You mean for
Kathy
free?
was talking
Yeah.
about putting the table.
they got some scratches on top, but
And then getting a skirt to put around
Put a
it.
skirt,
So
yeah.
if we had that, that would work. And we could either use these chairs or get a little more comfy chairs for council.
I ain't giving up my chair.
Well, I'll be the only one in the room
I like
that feels
comfy
it. Squeaking and
No,
everything.
I agree.
Mine don't
I'm
squeak.
keeping it.
I take
Mine's
care of
not
mine.
squeaking.
Okay. Well, I know where that chair's gonna end up next week.
This is one that works.
Table
Look
and
how
table
nice.
chairs.
And
Yeah.
this,
Yeah.
This works good.
Well,
I
this
ain't
was
giving
neat,
up my
'cause this was the one that goes all the way back.
the one you're on.
Oh, I don't know which one.
But I do want to sit over there and look that way.
Yeah.
That's what we want
I agree.
everybody sitting there looking this way.
Yeah. So we're not back.
Okay.
from
Did you
like
take,
being
did you say 2 6s and an 8 or 2
2 8s and a
Oh,
6.
that's great.
Yeah, plus this one,
Yeah.
that should be fun.
For free.
Bob,
Oh, yeah, no problem.
So I don't know if you noticed on the, I hope you noticed, on the Monday memos, there is a section here on grants and stuff like that I've been throwing in here. So culture and rec, this is kind of the area that there's a lot of stuff that pops up. And you see here, all the stuff that is red and then closed is stuff that's come and gone. And we missed the boat on that stuff. And so I try to put this, if it's annual, I try to put it out to 27, 28, so, all the way out to 30. So we know to get this stuff on our radar. If we don't apply for this stuff, we're not gonna get it. So this is, at least this is what it is. These are the opening dates, closing dates there. So let's try to be on top of that and kind of just look at that calendar and see what's coming up. There's a few things open. There's this Greenway thing that's open. Well, it actually ended, but yeah. So, anyways, that's in the area there. So program activities, events, all that sort of stuff here. So we got a couple things here. So we all agreed to come up with a list of park rules and regulations and send that to Joe for legal review, because some of that stuff may have to be by ordinance. Some could maybe be through resolution. That will be his determination, but we need a list.
Yeah, that list that was on there, I thought that was being sent to him. You said we can't go any further until he reviews this.
That was the list? Is that your best and final offer?
Well, no, I mean, it was open to anyone and anything else
Okay,
for everyone to, I had 2 or 3 suggestions on it. I didn't have any other, people adding to it. I went through a few different boroughs. I went through some, how do I put it? Very wealthy boroughs. And I went through some not so wealthy boroughs, and the most common ones were put in those. I mean, there were some that, we don't have a pond. We don't have a sprinkler. We don't have, a paved track, certain things like that. But I think some of the things that need to be addressed, like Justin or Mrs. Seuss brought up about the people using the bikes, and it's always changing. I mean, we've got these e-bikes, and that's a big thing. I know you put it out in the memo to us about, and I believe you did too, about Mayor, you put it out about kids driving all these scooters around. That's a police issue too. I mean, that needs to be addressed. I mean, we're gonna put the rules out. The rules mean nothing if they're not being enforced. So how, even you can put an ordinance, you can put whatever out there, but if they don't catch them, it's just gonna keep happening. We have the damage, and until we get the everyone that I've talked to about, they said, "What's your security system?" I'm not gonna say, "Yeah, we have no security." I'm not gonna say that, but basically, we don't have a security system down there. A sign, yes, it's gonna deter, law-abiding citizens, but it's not gonna deter any criminal.
You
They're
know
gonna be
what?
like,
Most people will listen.
yes,
Yes, but you always got a few
you
that
got that 10% that.
but it's that 10% that causes 95% or 99% of the damage. Accidents happen, but people that are honest are gonna be like, okay, and they'll take responsibility, and deal with it. But like,
So in terms of moving the park rules, the formal park rules thing forward here, we need a list that you come up with a list and you then give us all a chance to look at that. And then when we all weigh in on it, we'll send that to Joe for legal review. And then if Joe says we're gonna do an ordinance, we'll do an ordinance. If he says resolution, do resolution. Then we'll get the damn thing done. But we need to move on.
Okay,
We
we
need
have-
to,
and everyone's had the opportunity to add or make suggestions.
I thought
You're
it
the
was
only
good.
one that made a suggestion
yeah,
that acts, and I changed
Can
it
you
on
make
your
that
edit.
bigger,
yeah.
please?
I had included everyone on the borough council, and I had some.
Yeah, I saw it.
Yep, I looked at it.
I looked at it.
I really didn't have much to add. I don't really know the problems. Right? Like, hey, no spray painting. That's my joke.
Yeah.
That's all.
Well,
We
yeah.
need the number 11.
No nails, Brad, staples.
People are gonna do whatever they want.
Yeah, but when we go to cut a tree, Brian doesn't need to be worried down there that he cuts into a tree and the chain breaks, and then he's in the emergency room, loses an eye, or gets injured. That's not fair to him to have to
The
worry
only
about.
thing that I had was like, it says no campers permitted overnight without a permit.
We will have people down there that will, like if they come in to visit. So I
Yeah.
had people ask. I said, no, you can't just camp down there.
Yeah,
You have to get-
I don't think they should.
Okay,
And
so
then
they're
the
gonna
other
go-
day I was down there, I went down in the
Get out of the
evening
yard.
to unlock, to lock up everything. And there was a pickup truck with a trailer with cars and stuff on it. It was down there overnight.
Was it there overnight?
Yeah.
So we.
And
we
unless
have
you
no
saw
permit.
that-
I wouldn't even know where
That's
to
your
start.
point, yeah.
Yeah, we don't have a way
Yeah,
unless
it's not
someone's
that
going
big
there
of a
every
deal
day
once-
to see that. It's not happening. If you went and saw that, it quote never happened because no one.
Like, we're-
But
No one
this
has
way,
a-
if we have an ordinance, police go by, they can tell them
But that's
to,
it.
Yes.
you know,
So,
you gotta move.
Well, will you,
Because I went through
will you finalize this, right? Finalize this, and let's get this to Joe. And hopefully Joe will do this, say we can do this by resolution. If that's the case, we can modify this, change this, gives us flexibility. I'd like to get this done.
Okay, so what? Just send my form right there.
Yeah,
Send it right to Joe.
Look, consider what, you know, we might wanna ask everybody else to look at this one last time, send it to Joe, right? And then let's take it from there. Joe gets legal review.
Yes, well, that's what I said. That's why I offered it to everybody to make that. So
I think it's ready, I think
Yeah,
just
just send
send
it.
it over.
I think it's number 10, you need to put a period after no camper,
And there's no
no campers
permit.
permitted overnight, period.
There's no permitting process.
Just eliminate the end of that sentence, there is no
Oh,
permit.
how about this? How about this? Let's put this out there to the
with the
citizens.
subtitles.
Now you're talking a lot more
Get some
time.
feedback.
I think that looks good, honestly.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right, why don't you just modify that, take that permit thing off or whatever,
That's the only thing.
and we'll move forward with it. But we gotta,
We put it out to the citizens, she's right here.
Yeah, no campers, no overnight, period.
She's the only citizen.
we did that.
No tenants.
And
I
we
did
have
answer Jason on that.
4 receptacles for pet poop down there.
They're down there already.
Yeah, so pet owners,
There are some down there?
yeah, it's
there's 4 of them.
collected by pet owners and removed immediately. They need to remove them. I mean, it's
They can put them in the pet receptacles. Let that be on the sign so that the people down there now already know to pick up their poop and put it in the
You know what,
receptacles.
people know, and they just don't care.
They just don't
They're
care.
either care or they don't care, so no matter if you put it on a sign or not.
yeah, because
They're still gonna do what they do.
Okay, so here's the deal, Jason's gonna go ahead and send this to Joe.
Good.
Please send him any of your
Just send it.
suggested revisions to him. This is linked to the Monday memo, you can see it, you can, make that
Good.
happen. And then when you'll see Joe next week, and just let him know that you're gonna send this off to him, okay? Okay, now if Joe wants to do a resolution, we've got a process in place.
Send it over tomorrow, and
Yeah.
that way it gives him time to look at it, and then he can okay it at the next
Yeah.
meeting.
Sooner the better, here.
Jason, do
You
you,
can-
Review ASAP.
And they can say, oh, yeah.
Jason, do you need Joe's email? Or do you have it?
Or he should be on
Yeah,
all
it should
these.
be on.
When you send it, ask him if we need a resolution or a
Ordinance.
ordinance.
We need.
And then hopefully he can let you know right away, and then Kevin can get it written up.
And then at the bottom of the sign, we could put, "This means you," and we'll name all the bad kids that
Sure.
have been picked up.
Gotta wring your neck.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, next thing,
Yeah.
the next thing we need to move on is this policy for the community park memorials.
Yeah.
Do you wanna draft that up? We need to draft policies
For,
and-
like,
for the memorials.
what direction do you wanna go with that?
Well,
That's
we
what
talked-
I don't think we need to have anything,
We passed
because
it.
people are gonna look at us, oh, we can have a memorial down
Yeah.
there?
passed
We
a
don't
motion.
need that.
We passed a motion to do this.
Okay,
Okay,
and we also discussed that we would bring it per, I think even Bob and I
To the
agree with Bob,
committee.
that the committee, us committee, that we'd said that we would bring it up to say, if someone wanted to do it, they brought it to council and we'd either approve it.
No,
or
no, just
disapprove
to our committee.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just to
yeah.
the
Okay,
committee.
not the council.
The motion we passed was directing the creation of a policy addressing in memoriam tributes in the park and elsewhere. So we need a draft. So we need a draft so we can all look at it, add stuff, take stuff away, and then ratify it as well.
Oro's bought the tree, brought it down, Brian put it in, it looks real nice.
Good.
Yeah.
Will you draft up a policy?
Yeah, do you, I mean, so what, it could be a couple sentences, basically, it's just bring, any memorials need to be brought before the borough and approved by the borough before,
I don't
does
know.
that need to be right?
My policies are about 7 pages long.
Well, that's why I'm saying.
Kevin's are 15.
I like it. Just draft it up, create something, and give it to us, and we'll take it from there.
Kevin will make it the
We'll
way he
add,
wants.
we'll add 7, I'll add 8 pages.
This will be a
I'll use
novella.
AI, I know what
This will be a
Like this is
a
good.
novel.
Okay, so guys, this is how we're going from
Kevin will have to blah,
idea.
blah, blah to it.
But what I'm saying is,
Okay.
like,
Yeah,
Bob-
make
I
it
agree with
nice.
what Bob's saying, and what I'm saying is like, if you put it out there, everybody's gonna wanna put a memorial for everything. And then, but if you make it simple, sometimes you need to just kiss it, keep it simple.
Just like if anybody wants, how about
Less
if
is
anybody
better.
wants to plant a
Make a
tree?
policy.
No, I left it.
Make a policy, okay, put it in writing,
That's
and we'll
okay.
take it from there.
Just something like if anybody wants
We've
to
gotta
plant
move
a
on.
tree
I'm crossing
They
it
need to
off.
talk
Let's
Okay,
go.
all right, let's
for
go.
memorials.
Jason's
So
saying don't do more.
The next, yes,
Well, because more is sometimes not better.
Great.
but we have to do what's right.
Well, and it is, that's
The
what I'm
next-
saying.
The
Bring
next
it
thing on
forward,
our
that's
list
why we're
here is another thing we've been talking about, is the event checklist, right? When we have an event, what's the protocol? Just like the park shelter, if we don't have a protocol, we don't know what the hell we're doing. So we need a protocol for when Easter egg hunt, right? What's our next thing?
Partridge.
No,
No,
community,
night at, movie night at
movie
the
night,
park
yeah,
or
yeah.
something.
No, that's
There's
in
that,
August,
right?
yeah.
So we're gonna have that event. What's the protocol there? Okay, we gotta have the first aid kits, right? We gotta have a list of volunteers, because if we don't have a list of volunteers and someone gets hurt, they're not covered by our insurance. And I think we want to have people who are volunteering covered on insurance.
That's in the borough, the whole thing, that's in there about, because that's a legal thing, that's a state thing, that, anytime you have a volunteer list or you're doing an event checklist, that's in, whether it's in the borough rules or whatever somewhere, or through the state, it's already a mandate. We don't have to rewrite and say, hey, a wheel's a wheel, it's already there. But yeah, if we have when someone does that, that's like saying, hey, the speed limit is 25 mile an hour, we don't have to sit there and rewrite.
I think what he's saying is if somebody gets hurt and says, well, I was a volunteer. But they
Oh,
want-
yes, but the lists have to be made when you do that. That's a state rule, and that's also,
Where's the statement? Where's that come from?
I don't know, you can, I mean, I've
I can
seen,
tell you, I read in our H.A. Thompson policy, it specifically says, we will cover volunteers if they are on the list.
yes, that's what I'm saying, that's what I'm saying, when you do it, every time you have something, you have to have that.
Okay, so that should be, we need to.
I think we mostly have everybody that does stuff here. We just make a list with all of our volunteers. If they show up, fine. If they don't, fine. That way we're all covered. And then if somebody else decides,
We have to add them on it before we
yeah,
finalize it.
because it's usually the same people.
Yeah,
Okay, so why don't you draft that up too? Okay. Draft up a little checklist. Doesn't have to be,
Just a volunteer list on a page. With a bunch of lines.
I think Nora knows who all the volunteers are.
Most of them.
Okay, so we started, speaking of Nora, so need for operating procedures, the park shelter rental concession, so protocols. beginning and ending of season, reservations, how are they taken, how are they handled, preparation for daily rentals, financial reporting, all that sort of stuff. That's some stuff that we really should put together here. And we don't have anything written. And this goes back to, if you remember March, April last year, when citizen Kevin Farkas said, you guys don't have any operational things written up. You have no no plans, standard operating procedures, nothing. No one knows how to do anything. Yeah, you're right. And so that led to, we need to put it in a book. And so we passed the, what's it called, the handbook of borough operations, and no one wrote a damn thing. But we've been putting together this stuff one way or another through resolutions and other ways, right? We've been moving in that direction. So this is one of those things that we just don't have any operational planning around here. So this is our opportunity to do it. Because look what happened. Look, Brian says he doesn't know what's going on down there. You don't know what's going on down there. Sometimes we have mix-ups with getting the monies and stuff like that. So we need to take a little moment here and.
I did change the way I've been doing that too, because I used to give people the option to meet me or do whatever. I don't even give them the option anymore. It's you put it in the mailbox or email it. I don't even allow them to try it because I've been burned too many times coming here, and so I don't know if you guys are okay with that, but I did that.
Yep.
Your call. Yeah. Okay, so we need to do this. So this is in your wheelhouse. Do you want to write up?
Well, and here's the thing, and this is not put more on Jenna, but you talk about daily rentals, have zero to do with that. That goes into our secretary.
Yeah, so
So financial reporting would also go.
start having a conversation with how
Okay.
Jenna does it.
Okay.
How Nora finds out that what
Well, that's
needs
what I'm
done.
saying. It also goes, that's why
The calendar.
you have a calendar.
Yeah.
You
And
just said it. I mean, we're like I said, we're not reinventing the wheel again. I mean, I'll put more on Jenna and.
You're not putting any. Find out how they're doing it right now. Put it down on a piece of paper. Bring it back to here, and then we'll see if we can make it better.
A draft.
Okay.
Draft.
Could you
Draft of
just
proceedings.
send me how you're doing it? Basically, there's a form. You send me, and I'll hand it to Kevin
I'm
exactly
thinking
what you're doing. So
simple
instead of-
checklist too. Of like, hey, someone calls me, I get the check, I do this with the check, I tell Nora, Nora tells whatever, or just does it, and then
So yeah, Nora just
she
looks
logs
at
it
the
back
calendar.
up.
We have it's
Yeah.
pretty simple.
Yeah,
Yeah.
whatever that is.
What I do.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Instead of
Yeah.
Here's what I did.
sending it to me to give it back to
Well,
the borough. That's what I'm saying.
People
She's
fill out
already
an
doing all
online
this. This is
form.
what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
but
This
just
should be-
coordinate that.
Okay, but what I'm saying
Why
is
this
that
is essential is this is continuity.
I understand
Because
that.
Nora's going on vacation. Who knows what to
Yes.
do? Right? I may be gone and I get online stuff. How's that work, right?
Okay.
Brian may be on vacation. We don't know what's going on there. So this is all continuity, right?
Yeah, the
Okay.
end of this month, I'm missing 3 rentals.
Okay, so this.
Next month, I'm missing 1, probably 2 more, so, I won't be able to open or close them.
Okay, so if you would draft up an operating procedure.
Well, this is what I'm saying. Going back to secretary, she's already doing this. This is what I'm saying. So you're having me do something that someone else has
No,
already done.
she
No,
hasn't
this
written
is
up.
what I'm-
She has not written up the procedure. She does the procedure.
Yes.
We would like you.
Okay. Well, I'm
to
just.
write up how she does
Just take all the
I'm just saying however she's doing. Well, I'm saying how the best person to do it. If she's already. I'm saying the
He's
person.
not asking you to do it.
No, I'm
He's
asking
asking
Now
you to
he's
write it up.
saying you should write it up
Yes.
because you know how you do it. That's what
Okay,
he's
No, that's
saying.
what I'm saying.
Fantastic.
This is culture. This is culture.
I understand this, but it's also everything's going through her. So for me to write something up that's not anything that
I'll just.
we've ever done.
I got it.
Thank you, Jenna. You understand. I appreciate it.
I want to step in a little bit here. As oversight of this stuff, right? How I would approach this is I would say, Jenna, whatever you do on this basis, can you just do a quick checklist of, hey, this is what happens?
I think
Nora.
that's basically what he's saying.
Yeah, that's what
well,
I'm talking
Nora, I need that same thing, right? And then you take that and you put both of those together, okay? And you have to bring things that are out of scope, like, hey, Brian doesn't know that grass needs cut. And where does that fit into the process? What's the best way? Like, bring those suggestions and write those up. So yeah, Jenna can give you that checklist. Nora can give you that checklist or whatever they're doing. Okay, you're
That
putting.
checklist is on a Google Calendar, right? We're putting on the calendar when they're scheduled.
It's
Right.
on the
borough
it's on the
website.
On the
West
borough-
Springfield Borough
borough
calendar, yeah.
So we have that. So
No, we're talking about procedural checklists for all parts of this.
Yeah, so, like,
Yours
if-
world, my world.
If she would hit the lottery and leave, okay,
We
not hit by a
have-
bus. You like that? Okay,
I got the-
alright.
okay, Jenna, if you could, if whatever.
But now
You
you
said
can
that
take
to
that.
me. Take that.
This
how
one of
your
his.
procedures are what you did.
One of the points to this is we had another council member that was doing this for a hot minute, was appointed, and then she left. Okay, no one knew what was going on, and I think that's how you got stuck
The
doing it.
lights were on all night
Yeah.
long and everything.
And this
so
is
I-
why she's doing it. So
Well,
She
and I
didn't
think
know.
one of the
She didn't
meetings
know
I was
what
at
to
as
do.
a citizen, you go back, whatever if they, well, they wouldn't have minutes because you weren't recording them, but,
So really taking that and just like even like a flow chart of like, oh, person calls, money happens, this goes, they
Okay.
update this contract or this calendar.
but
they
it
do
also
that.
goes in, if I'm oversight, for one, I don't have keys to any of it. So if I'm oversight, normally the person in charge, if I'm supposedly in charge and the oversight of it, I should have access. I have zero
You
access.
should
No,
have keys.
I have
Yeah, you
requested that.
Are,
I do
are there not
no.
keys here
No, I
somewhere?
have requested them.
I
since-
do not leave any keys
So
here.
if I
Okay,
am
we should
on
have
that,
park keys
and I'm
here.
not, so
In this building,
until
would
I
think,
do,
for
that's not
anyone,
under
if
my
someone's
wheelhouse.
not available.
Right.
I've
You need-
requested
you need
that, and I'm
keys.
not. So that's why I'm
Brian,
adamant
can
about
you get him a
this.
set of keys?
I
What
can.
did you
But-
request?
I mentioned talking, saying, hey, if I'm going to be doing this, who's
Yeah,
doing
sure,
the part? I mean, you got to keep, but
1000%.
now just to throw keys and say, oh, now I'm good, you got to do this too.
Well, and then you gotta
That's
know
what I'm
how to
saying.
turn the lights off and on.
That's what
you
I'm
know.
saying. But it's not. It shouldn't just be on you.
So on
Go
that
That'll
checklist,
be in the procedure.
your
Yes.
procedure of what you do,
Yeah,
if you could just
Make a
write
list of all the
that
things,
down.
yeah.
That way,
and then if you could, and then I'll
Yeah.
put the two
Because
together.
then, putting them together, and then what Brian would need to know and
Same
how
as-
he knows.
Same
we'll,
as like,
we'll
there's
figure
the
that out.
dumpster down there. That's a great dumpster. It's huge.
Good.
There's a handle you lift up on it. On the side, there's this little lever. You turn this lever and you can lift the handle and then you can lift those up. Now you can put a lock on there, but so far nobody has dumped anything in there. So I don't think that whoever was dumping in there before figured out how to open it.
Yeah, maybe we should put a lock on it.
So we can put a lock on it. So far, nobody's thrown anything
Well,
in.
now that it's
Because I don't
public,
think
thanks.
they figured, well, that's the thing, they haven't figured out you have to pick this huge thing up and turn
Yeah.
this to be able to get in
keep
there.
that under your hat.
Well,
Yeah.
it's a public meeting. It's already.
That way, now that they can't get into it, they'll just throw the
Yeah.
But
shit
we
on the
can,
outside.
we can put a lock on it too, and like the guy said from the dumpster, with a lock on it, they can still,
Yeah, it's a gravity lock. Yeah.
yeah, open it, so if need be, we'll put a lock on
Do
it.
you have Brian's number?
I'm Brian.
Okay.
So
So,
you, yeah, you're right. Right on. Right. So you'll be the guy that sort of oversee this.
To get the
getting this
rules now,
policy.
but it all ultimately goes back then with this before we even do this is then say Jenna's not able to get down there or Mrs. Seuss isn't going to be down there. It's like
You can call me Nora.
no, okay, so well,
Aunt Nora.
okay.
Aunt Nora.
Well, out of respect.
It's a requirement.
Okay. All right.
You only put
I wanna
her
be called.
on your phone like that. Yeah.
She's only allowed to be Aunt Nora.
Okay. But out of respect. I mean, it was so. It's not fair. One person has it, so there should be in that rules when it comes together. Okay, you do primary or whoever's going to be the primary, but then
And then
a
I'll
list of who
have to let you know when I can't do it.
can't. Yeah, but
I mean, usually when Aunt Nora can't do it, I just do
A
it.
great suggestion is to get a lockbox with a key.
yes.
Okay. Have a key for whatever things that need to be unlocked because there's 7 people around this table, 8 people around this table that
One of
would
us could
be
do it. Yeah.
totally willing, if possible, to go down and unlock something, right? I mean,
Yeah.
Well, like you said, if you even hang them in here,
that's what I mean.
That's what I
Just
mean.
have,
The lockbox.
yeah.
We all have a
you
key to it.
You have a key to
Your
here.
key to the door.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, we have a room in there that's locked. That's a big lockbox.
Perfect.
we should just put that in there, like a little thing that says, these are the park keys, and you need the keys?
Yeah, I have, I mean, I literally, so I just need to bring keys down here.
Yeah, anyone needs
Not
the keys?
everybody has a key to
We
the
go in
office though either.
Yeah, everybody has office keys.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, everybody has front door and office keys.
Look at your little.
Yeah, I got my keys.
I have them
Yeah.
labeled.
Good,
So,
good.
yeah.
It's just like my
Yeah,
house.
you
Good
got
at
it.
the second.
Include that in
And
the
the key.
procedures. Okay.
I'm okay with him as oversight, having a whole set himself as well. Yeah.
Okay, so you guys need me to bring a set of keys here and bring a set of keys to Jason, correct? Great.
What are our thoughts about a lock
Try to clean my glasses.
for the dumpster?
Now that.
Okay.
No?
Perfect.
These are
I think if it becomes a problem,
If
yeah.
we start having an issue, then.
Okay, because the one year we had a mattress.
Oh, last
and-
year they were
had
stuffing
everything,
stuff in
Mhm.
crazy.
But here, it also comes back to security. And this is the biggest thing. Everything, the wall comes with the park. Until we get security down there,
We've got it, that's on the agenda.
well,
We've got that on the agenda, the camera business.
Yep.
Oh boy.
Okay, anything else under culture and rec?
that's good then.
I just wanna say Brian did a really nice job of putting wood on the Jubilee shelter at the end where it was all busted up. Looks great. And I do have a piece of 3/4 inch plywood that he could probably make a couple shelves to put cookers on. I just gotta get with him and get him to get it out of my garage.
All right. General administration, this is my area here, in terms of the budget,
Been burning through yours, huh?
we purchased a few things, you bought a laptop, right? Or was that last year?
That was
Last year.
Yeah.
You bought a printer this year. right?
Yes.
Printer. Need anything?
Nope.
Okay,
I'm good.
okay.
I
This,
just bought stamps, but that's it.
so the use of the tax exempt, we do not have to pay state sales tax. And so we should not be buying anything and paying state sales tax, or federal. Right?
If I go buy paint, I get 20%. It's better than not paying tax.
You don't get both?
No.
Okay.
One or the other.
Oh,
And that.
No, because
whichever is the better.
it's under Tate and Sons.
Okay,
So we pay tax, but we save 20% on
Okay,
the
good.
paint and some other things.
well, that's a deal.
So I do whatever we need.
Okay, yeah,
Whatever
that,
charge
that
you're
makes sense.
involved.
But
What's that?
so Brian told me you have a card, you have a card or something that you would show somebody if you have to make a purchase
I have one for Walmart.
for Walmart?
You guys basically give them the card before you actually do the
Bring it
register.
up.
Okay,
But it's already set up at Home Depot.
Yeah.
I mean, you just tell them it's West Mayfield Borough and it brings it up.
okay. So you're authorized to make purchases, you are Public Works, you are, if we know that we're gonna buy stuff, like donuts ahead of time, we don't need to pay sales tax for that stuff. If we can
What's
coordinate.
tax on donuts? Is it?
Well, the thing is, a lot of companies now, they want you to fill out all the paperwork.
It's a simple form. It's a real easy form.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Just
so-
like if I'm getting donuts at Sheets, I get 10% off. It's saving us more than 6%. Do you know what I mean?
Okay, yeah.
Sheets
Well,
are
well, if
good.
that works, great. All I'm saying here is that
You save money where you can.
we
Yes.
are a municipal tax exempt
Yes.
entity. We don't need to pay sales tax. If we have a better deal, 10% or.
20, he's getting 20.
20%, that's on paint.
Yeah, okay.
I get 10%
Yeah, let's do that.
military.
But this goes back to, our fiscal policy, saving the taxpayers some money, whatever. There.
So am I
I mean,
setting
is
up
it
a full tax exempt thing for,
We are tax exempt.
no, not, you have to have the card, like we have individual ones for like, is there an actual big tax exempt thing that needs to be?
There's a-
form online.
There's a form that every company that you purchase something from would need to have on file for their purposes. It's just,
So it's separate for each company?
yeah,
Okay, great.
Like my company would make me redo it every year.
yeah,
Okay,
that's
cool.
what we
Every
do,
year.
yeah.
But if I go get something at Home Depot or Walmart, I read all of that stuff and I don't meet the criteria for the tax exemption, just as a council member.
You don't,
No,
yeah.
No, the
but-
company needs it. It has to go through Walmart or Home
But
Depot.
but
Yeah.
purchasing on the behalf
Sure,
of,
I need this back.
West Mayfield
For Walmart,
is,
they gotta
that's
is
what I'm
tax
saying, I
exempt.
don't meet the criteria for purchasing on behalf of the borough and getting the tax exemption.
Well, you can,
That's
if
what I'm asking, like,
if you're gonna go buy stuff, go see Brian, get the card off
That
of
doesn't
him.
even work.
Take
Okay,
I
that.
know, but
Okay.
there, I
Well,
want to
I
show you,
know.
this is
I made my big
the state
purchase.
Pennsylvania exemption certificate here. And what I read online is that you fill this out and this is what, maybe photocopy, and this is what you could show somebody.
No, you have to turn it into
Yeah,
them,
you
they
can-
have to send it into
You have
corporate.
to file it.
It's a process.
Yeah.
It's a process. Well, okay. All right, well, if it works for us, if it works, if it doesn't, it doesn't, but there's no reason
Are we passing
why.
this around the table just so we can see?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah, Brian needs that back.
okay.
Yeah, I mean, this only happens one time a year, and most companies don't request a renewal for it.
They do it once and then it's.
Yeah, but, you know, my company, we try to request it, but if we're doing work for a church for 10 years, we're not having them put that in every single year, so.
You have, all your major places you buy from have our,
Yeah, we're all set up. with that.
right.
That's good. Okay, good. The work phone stuff is still tabled.
Just like even Seal Master,
The municipal online payment system, we authorized that April of last year. So
Yeah, the thing is that I don't wanna put that on my personal phone, which I've said,
the online payment stuff?
like Venmo and Cash App and stuff, I do not want any of that for the borough on my personal phone.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
disagree with you there.
That's why it's not set up.
Well, if you can figure out how we can make that work.
Yeah.
I mean, you're authorized.
Like Zelle, you
Yeah.
can do through your bank, you can do through the bank. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
cause
I don't
mine
use
goes
Zelle,
directly from and to my bank.
but that would still be on my personal
You just
phone.
need like
No, we have a-
PayPal and Venmo?
No,
We don't go by the phone number, you go by
Oh,
the
you go
bank
by the
account.
bank
You
account.
get into
Okay.
the account.
you log in on
Okay.
the internet, not on an app. On the
Perfect.
internet, you log in to the account and you hit
I can do that
transfer.
then.
Cause that's how I pay my
You
guy in
transfer
Florida
things
to
out.
cut the grass.
Yeah,
But yeah, it's definitely
We
not
can
on
use the
an app.
website
Won't let you in.
for
Is
this.
Zelle's a weird one for me because there's no clawback on that. So like, but that's
I
another
don't
discussion.
use, I don't use
Um,
Zelle, so.
Like if your services aren't, like if you would pay him and he'd never cut your grass, you couldn't get that money back.
I don't worry about that, Jose's a good
I'm
dude.
I'm just saying that's what that Zelle is.
Takes care of me.
Okay, so let's work through that. Let's see what we
Sure.
can do about that. It'll make our lives easier.
Like PayPal, you don't have to worry about stuff like that.
Mhm.
For financial transactions, it might be best if we do this. It could, interfacing with other Agnew stuff. Okay, so this is something new I threw on here. General administration asset inventory. So if we can shoot for August 15th of having an asset inventory, just write this on a piece of paper. All the stuff that you have that belongs to the borough,
Sure.
like the computer and what it is, like a description, right, that sort of stuff. This will also help us if, if your house burns down, God forbid,
Thank you.
that stuff that we have an account. So if you go on vacation and Justin help me out, what's the rest of it?
Yeah, if
You know what I'm
win the
saying.
lottery.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so we do need to keep track of
Okay.
this.
Do you just want, like how detailed do you want
You
it?
should order off Amazon asset tags and put an asset tag on anything that the borough owns and then record that asset tag number with what it is.
Okay.
How many pieces of paper do you have?
What's the asset tag? Is
Yeah, I've never heard of that.
sticker?
Yeah, like a little sticker. Yeah.
Okay.
It's a little sticker with a serial number on it.
Okay. Get a barcode? Can you do that too?
You in essence, yeah,
Oh, yeah.
you could.
Yeah.
You could do a barcode.
I'll just do it.
Let me talk about asset tags with you at some point.
I'll leave it up to you.
Fantastic.
Yeah, because
We just need a list.
this will go same with like the inventory asset list on things too. So like the recorder would technically have an asset tag, right? That asset tag would be associated with depreciation and different things like that, right? For insurance purposes as well too.
Okay. So if we could shoot by August 15th, if we could do that, whatever that asset, we asked Gems to do a list, gave us a list, that was useful. General administration list, be useful. We're gonna do a public works list too. Okay. Municipal reporting, so we do have a backlog of lots of stuff that we are working on. We got some things done, and we will continue to work on that. We have meeting minutes to review from January 14th. And so if you've seen these, Justin weighed in on it in blue. There's some things that I weighed in on here. If you all see something, I think you can comment on this form. But if there's anything that you see needs to be fixed, inaccurate, whatever, let's get this whipped up so we can approve this next week, right? I can't stress enough, these are legal documents. They stand for the proceedings that went on. And Jenny, you did a great job on this.
Mhm.
This is very detailed. I mean, I love it. It's so detailed. It's got all kinds of great information in this. So if we could continue this, great. But so we'll be able to knock this one out next week. Vote on this, I think. But please weigh in on this.
Yeah, we have a plan to get the rest of those going. So it should be relatively quick,
Yeah,
I would think.
I love the
Yeah.
AI stuff. It's so,
it's fantastic.
yeah.
It took like my job from taking 10 to 14 hours to do minutes to like 3.
In every review, like every comment that's like actually reviewed in there, rolling that back into the process for its logic. So each one should get better and better as we approve them, because it's comparing what it spits out to what I'm accepting, and so I'm rewriting that to generate it better.
It'll get better every time.
Yeah.
So did you see so structurally, we actually have to put this in here. When citizens speak, the name and their address. So I added that here. So if that could be part of the structural part of
It
this.
is. Yep. Just did February. So I actually just set
Yeah.
those.
And the disposition of the votes, like I added.
That's added to the logic right now. Which actually comes down to when we're doing the actual business meetings and having discussions, like really be vocal for the recording too. So like the roll call, here, right, or whatever, like just be vocal about it so that it understands. It just makes everything more clear.
Sure. I actually went back and I listened to the audio on some of this to sort of like, what happened there? I was confused. So that stuff is very useful.
Mm-hmm. And it's pretty quick to go through with that summary that's made.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
I did the same thing.
Okay, where are we here? So also July, our annual AORO report for open records. Can you provide that list?
Sure.
What requests were there?
Mhm.
The disposition?
Yeah, I think I've had.
There is online, I think there's a guide to that,
Okay.
of the records that you should be keeping. There is an AOR handbook. You should be keeping those records consistent with that.
Okay.
Those are legal documents.
Mm-hmm.
So in July, that's on our calendar too.
And that needs filed too, yeah? Or is that
That's
internal
ours.
stuff?
That's
Okay.
ours internal, yeah. Okay, Ministry of Communications, there's nothing really going on there. Human Resources, so we still have some bonding.
Yeah, I have an email out to Sally, who we do all of our bonding for, like me and Kathy, and she got back to me on May 12th, and I sent her the addresses also on May 12th, and she said she will complete the applications with the information, and then she would send them to me as soon as they were done. So that's all set up. For the bonding, she did say, I think me and you spoke because we didn't know amounts, and she said that what we said was high.
50?
Yeah, she said that was high.
Oh.
The highest I saw was 3,000 for, that is what, she works at High Street Insurance and Financial, which is who we do all of our bonding through. Not sure on cost, but bonds are not that expensive. I will have to do one for each person.
So what are you waiting on?
Her to send
Just
it.
Kathy?
Yeah, or not Kathy,
There.
no, Sally
I'm
is her
sorry,
name.
Sally.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm just waiting for her to, I sent all the information that she needed,
Perfect.
so.
Did we, so I have here code enforcement, zoning, emergency management, are we gonna bond? Did we?
You only told me code enforcement, and
Okay,
so those are the only ones that I,
Okay, for now, let's do that. Okay.
yeah, I sent her the addresses, and
Okay, so we actually approved that, those positions, bonding for those positions and the authorization resolution, so that means that whatever you figured out,
Mhm.
okay,
When will this,
let us know.
when does that start?
whenever she gets it to me, I guess.
Do you really want to do the emergency management? Are we gonna keep emergency management or not?
I don't know, we're gonna pass over that for now.
We're just gonna do
We're just
you
gonna-
two.
Yeah, we'll have to.
Here,
figure
I'll
out
I'll
that.
send a follow-up email to her
Okay.
right now too.
Yeah, so you get that, you're ready to go?
I'm ready, yeah.
Okay, alrighty, good. So, employee handbook, so this, I updated the employee handbook based on the incident that took place recently that basically centered around Brian's authority as the foreman, Public Works foreman, to, basically direct the work and to manage the employees underneath him. So Brian had sent Gerald home. I believe he had authority to do that. And so what I did was I adjusted the employee handbook, adjusted that language to reflect that he has the authority as the foreman. That was actually already written in there. I just tightened it up, that authority there. So you take a look at that. And also, there was an issue that came up about employee listening to music while operating equipment. We already had something in the handbook about distracted driving, using the cell phones and stuff like that. So I tightened that up too, and added a clause that only PPE, hearing protection, but no listening to music, earbuds, or headphones while operating vehicles or equipment as a safety matter. Because it has something to do with what happened recently, some damage to some equipment, allegedly. So so we really do need to get our Brian and Jake and Gerald to sign this employee handbook. I believe it's ready to go.
Okay.
There's a section at the back where your signature, your signatures, Jenna, my signature, and then the employee signatures. Basically acknowledging that they read
So
this
we
thing.
feel that these are prepared and it's adequate. We're good.
I believe so. I'm floating it out there. I mean, the links to this darn thing is out there.
I tried making a new one.
I'm
That was not blah blah blah.
Good.
I was told.
I have a hard time reading all that
Where
stuff.
is and where
Oh,
for
yeah.
Just want the cliff
All
notes.
the legalese stuff, it's like, oh, wait.
Do I need to sign?
1, 2, 4.
Okay, also
That-
there was something brought up by,
HR, as an HR rep.
No,
this
I'm
was brought up by a
asking
citizen.
as an
Or
employee, or do I have a different one?
Oh, I think eventually every employee is going to sign. This is for Public Works.
That's what I'm saying.
We're going to move in that direction where every employee.
I just wanna make sure you didn't want me to sign one just to have something signed.
He
That's
what?
all.
Yeah,
When was this
Okay.
last?
Year. At December, the end of December was done here.
He stepped down at the end of December, right?
Okay.
Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah,
Jake did?
Yeah.
In the this is just so to cover him and us. We need to amend or make a resolution to amend our rules, for employment with the borough then. Because in our rules, someone can't be employed by the borough until 1 year. If they've been on borough council since I can't do summer work to help him unless, like say he calls, say, hey, we need help. Jason, come out and help for so many hours and they approve it, whatever. I can't do that until I've been off borough council for 1
There's
year.
no rule.
That's in, yeah, I read it somewhere, but
It's in
it's,
the PSA.
it's in the-
I think,
yeah.
but
it's absolutely is in there.
I think it's in.
I mean, it's not.
we're only using him for an emergency.
But I'm saying though, that's why I would be only using emergency, or like, if they needed help in the summer, I couldn't do it because I was told by legal, like I can't do it legally. So I just to say.
I think you changed him to a contractor though, didn't you?
Yeah, but he was still on borough council. So can we amend that? We can do the need just say, borough has the right to employ upon approval of the board, and we can amend that.
let me back up here. Is this, what you're saying, this prohibition, is it statutory? In other words, is the state statute prohibited?
I don't know if it's state statute or just our borough.
Because I'm pretty
One way or
sure it's in
another, it
that
needs.
questions and answers section.
That sounds kind of dumb.
Yeah.
It sounds
It
like
is.
a dumb
It should be,
rule.
we should be able to
Yeah.
approve whoever to help out.
Yeah, if we approve it,
That's what I'm saying.
It's not in the questions and answers here. This one's, this
That would only
issue
apply
was
if you're
all
being
about.
reimbursed,
Well,
right?
okay, so
But
the
he's
sta-
being compensated. That's
But
what
what
I'm
I'm saying
saying.
is
It's
not
not,
being
the status
compensated,
quo
but
has
still
been,
do
we've
it.
been doing that. We've
You're
been
not
hiring.
being paid to
status
do
quo
it.
doesn't make it legal though.
No, wait a minute. Let's continue with the status quo until it can be verified, either statutorily
Well,
prohibited.
some, we can Google mine. Hold on. I
Okay,
read.
come up with a citation and then we'll take it from there, but I don't wanna.
Okay, so well, I'm just saying, I'm letting you know that I'm bringing it up that it was, and I can't state the exact one, but I couldn't do it. That's why I didn't proceed with Brian and saying, hey, yeah, go somewhere or work, because I was told someone from state that I can't do it because you're now on borough council.
There's certain things you can't do as a council member,
Yes, until 1 year after
but
being
I don't
on
know
council.
specifically.
You can't be employed by
of
the
an
council
employee.
unless, that's what I'm saying. We need just to adapt it, like Bob said, so we can do what we see fit that best helps West Mayfield, not just,
So last year, I wrote about this in the Monday memos. Last year, the Ethics Commission came out and they nailed a bunch of people around the state. One of those persons was a council member who was working for the borough. He got nailed because he didn't get permission. There was no authorization for him to do that. That was not ethical, according to the Ethics Commission. But I think if we, we'd have to prove you anyways, right?
Yes.
The work, so I don't see that as a
but
problem.
that's what I'm saying, do we have a right to prove it, or do we have, I just wanna make sure that we're legal in doing it, because I'm here for something, if you need help or whatever, I said I was willing to do that, but it would have to be approved. But I didn't go forward.
you'll have
get
to
the approval.
volunteer your time.
Yeah.
I've already done
So are
some.
you,
You can get around that.
would you like to see this handbook to be amended that would permit,
Us to just
An
approve,
official-
that if we approve somebody, it should be able to approve, like Bob said, if we need something done, like that stump needed done, Jake was the best one to do it. We agreed on that, 100%. We shouldn't have to worry about, okay, hey, we did this later on, we
Yeah,
didn't follow
so-
our own rules.
You can't be
I see what you're
manager,
saying
you
now.
can't be a secretary, and you can't be a treasurer if you're on council. After, there is not a general statewide ban on becoming a borough employee. But the former member should not use the position to represent someone else before council. Yeah.
you can't just put yourself into a job. That's why that guy got nailed by the Ethics Commission.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
There's no, that's all it
You
is.
didn't hire Jake, you hired tactical stump removal.
No, we hired Jake. We-
No,
Yeah, we
that's-
specifically, yeah.
I mean, as the part-time employee.
You're cutting a check to tactical
And I
stump
read that
removal.
somewhere too.
That
I
is
don't-
too.
I don't know where.
I just don't want,
We are?
That right
okay,
there.
so Brian brought
That's
that up,
Jake's
so if you
company.
bring that up,
That's
Brian,
Jake's
under yours and say,
company.
hey,
For
Yeah,
Can you
so
approve Jason?
the
It would be-
Ethics
you know what I
Act,
mean?
it says
if you
a
wanna do that, you
1-year
could do that
revolving
now, like
door.
today.
After
You can
leaving
bring it on
office, a
Monday. That
former
way
public
you can
official
merge.
cannot represent another person for pay before the same governmental body for 1 year.
Represent another.
What exactly does that mean?
So the way I'm taking that is if you're creating the job for you and you go off council and you go and another council member.
Before you go off council, you create a job for
Yeah,
yourself.
and then
You go
slip
take
in,
that, you
okay.
slip
Yeah.
up, and you get that job. and, oh,
That
That's
is,
what politicians do.
65pa.ca, if you want to write it down to look.
Okay.
The Ethics Act is 65pa.c.s, whatever that S symbol is.
Yeah, probably.
1103.
Brian and Joe, those guys are taxed in the
113.
summertime, you know that, Jake helps them out too, it's like, they got so much that
But
they're doing,
it
there's
do-
little
it,
things
like
that.
under 3,000 or more may serve as an employee of that borough while in office. So that's us. We because we're so small, we actually have special privilege than most boroughs. Is like under 3,000 boroughs have
A lot more flexibility as far
a
as.
lot
Okay.
more flexibility.
Yeah.
So that actually even says on that is 8 PACS 1104.
So we're all good then.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
Alright.
can serve as an employee of that borough while in office. If under
So there you
3,000.
go, Brian, you just say, hey, and then we get it next
Oh,
week.
good, okay. Well, so this handbook is a working document, right? And I think, when things come up, we need to fix it, but they shouldn't prevent us from actually getting the dang thing signed or acknowledged.
And Justin,
We
thank you,
do need-
because
let me
that
work
scared
with
me,
you
because I was like, nope,
on this.
I stayed away, and that's not,
Because
I wasn't ignoring you, Brian.
Yeah,
That was just
whatever
why I
you
didn't
got,
call you and say,
whatever.
hey, get it approved, you know?
But I wanted to show you here, so what's in yellow up here is what I adjusted for the public works lead operator. Act as the operations foreman with supervisory authority over work sites, job actions, also in charge of equipment. On job sites, lead operator serves as the leader and determines the progression of the work. Where is it? Okay. Personal protection, this is where failing to use required PPE, like high visibility vests and steel toe boots, and wearing earbuds or headphones while operating equipment or as a substitute for hearing protection. This is all prohibited stuff.
Do we have all that for him?
The only thing we don't have is like the headphones.
You're gonna have to get him then.
Yeah, whatever he needs, whatever he needs.
Well, that's fine.
I mean, he uses the earbuds to cut grass because you don't want to hear the mower. You want to hear your music instead of listening to
No,
the loud motor
You
behind
can't-
you.
No, that's
I'm not
bad.
into that.
Just
Well, I
make sure-
understand. That's his thinking.
Yeah, his
That's what he's
That's
doing.
his
But-
thinking.
right,
He
yeah,
paid
yeah.
attention to that machine.
Right, but once you put them ear things on, you're not going to hear the
Right.
machine anyways.
But that would be.
But
Well,
it's
you-
not-
it brings it down to about,
All of us
you're
should
still
just
here at
review
50
the
decibel.
handbook, make
You're
sure we don't need
30
any
to 50.
To a
changes.
point, you can.
Yeah, it's in yellow.
Whatever
Look
we
at the
need.
handbook, what I added
If he
is in
needs
yellow.
headphones, get them.
And then we'll make a motion to pass that, is that all we need?
Make sure
The
they're
cheap,
reading.
honestly, the best and cheapest ones are the handgun or firearm
It's a
ones.
working document.
I use them when I weed whack and mow.
Okay.
It
He
brings
can
it down, I don't
just- he
get
can
any
pick
of the
'em up.
ringing, and they're the
Okay,
cheapest
guys.
and best ones.
So we do have a directive for an onboarding, offboarding SOP. So that's something that put on your plate too.
What's that?
When someone, when someone comes on board, there's a checklist basically. You get a set of keys, you get this.
Oh, I
you know
got
what
you.
mean? You're signed up for this, whatever. And then when you leave, you get those keys back. Hey, are you a grant administrator? We need to know that. By the way, I'll talk about that a little bit
No
later.
final paycheck till the keys come back.
Exactly. Hey, whatever we can make.
I think
we'll
Luke
make
still
it.
has his keys.
Okay,
Come back
so-
with those.
Change.
So we talked about for the, well, let me back up. The stump consultants recognize that we don't have any job descriptions for anybody,
Stamp.
right? So,
You said stamp.
stamp.
Yeah.
Okay.
They use stump, we use stamp.
So this is something that we really do need to address.
Stone.
And so I started here and I drafted job descriptions for Borough Secretary Treasurer, Code Enforcement Officer, Emergency Management Coordinator, Planning Zoning Officer. These descriptions are drafts. They are based on other positions around the state, borough positions. You know, I looked at them, I modified them. Some
Should
were-
you separate that now?
Probably eventually. Yeah.
Just a thought
Yeah.
while we're talking about it,
Yeah, this was sort of like the start of that.
Just-
and,
putting it out there. That's all.
we probably will, yeah. So anyway, so take a look at these things here. I mean, this is gonna be a work in progress for a bit.
And if it's your position, you should really put your input in there because job
Make that bigger.
job descriptions are like really what's required of you and what you're doing. So you might be doing way more than what's actually on there, and that shows that holds us accountable to you and you accountable to us.
Here is
To do that for any job that you have.
Okay, here's
Yeah,
one.
sure.
Okay, so code enforcement officer, right? So here's the position overview, the qualifications, core duties, responsibilities, professional development, other expectations, and compensation. There's basically a template for all of these here. And what's green is stuff that I went through and I'm like, okay, I think this is okay. But you know, it's like
Send that part over to me.
for, it's all linked in the Monday memo, right? And the
Okay.
email I just sent out, so Tina, you can look at
Did
that.
you guys read them? Cause Tina's looks like
Yeah.
yours. Tina's looks like zoning looks like
Yeah,
she's
they look
issuing
almost the same,
permits.
yeah.
And I didn't know that Tina
There's,
issued
well,
permits.
occupancy.
Oh, I thought Bob did that.
Different kind of occupancy.
Oh, different kind.
She's doing, you're talking about, landlord leases, right?
Okay, I read.
I
them
do
and
the
it was
occupancies.
confusing. Okay, I was just confused.
Well, there's a zoning, in the zoning ordinance, which should be under your job, that's a permit that you handle. And then there are permits that you handle.
Right.
And I tried to sort of kind of define that, but hey, you know what, take a look at this.
They
and
know what they do.
If we need to sort of tighten this up, and that's why
I
it's a
didn't see
draft.
that.
So this is Tina's here, this is, take a look and see, I mean, this is just a starting point. Like, just imagine if you left and we're gonna hire somebody else, what do we go by, right?
I just hand you a box of stuff like Chris did to me.
Yeah, right? That's how we do it.
Here you go.
That's right.
What if you don't get a box?
Yeah, so,
Five bucks.
we wanna sort of wrap this up. This is a starting point here. Eventually, everybody who's a paid employee, and quite frankly, we have 15 people who are getting money, right, including us. One way or another, some are salary, some are wages. So, yeah.
And really, like, job descriptions, they change over time. You might be doing more and compared to what you actually signed up for, and reviewing that and bringing that up and putting that in, it's
Brian has more to say about the whole Gerald situation too,
Okay, well,
by the way, just because he didn't get a chance to talk.
well, we don't want to talk about personnel issues openly. In
I'm
executive
just
session,
speaking.
we would. And Brian, we have to be careful on how we discuss a personnel issue here publicly in a meeting.
Well, that's fine. I just want to see how council wants me to pursue with him.
I think it's okay to add that to the executive session that's already in there, so we can talk about it first. Or it's already there, you know what I mean?
Okay, discuss personnel matters involving specific employees, plural.
Yep.
Yeah,
Okay, all right.
regardless.
We invite Brian to that portion of the meeting? To
Yeah, I
discuss?
think that's a good idea.
Brian, can you stay for this portion of our executive
Sure.
session? Okay. All right, good. All right. So we'll be working on these job descriptions, trying to figure out, how to get this stuff in place. And then this will guide us towards, all other future human resources things. Because quite frankly, if we don't do this right, and the fact that it hasn't happened yet doesn't mean it won't happen. As an employer, we have certain legal obligations, and employees have certain legal rights. And we can find ourselves in hot water if we don't follow our end of the equation. So it's important for us to, I actually think, I mentioned to you, I think we, at some point, I think we should get an HR consultant to kind of look at what we have here, help us understand, like, what is it that are we doing this right? What do we need here? I think this is something George Newsom could help with through the stamp program, because that's part of that shtick there. So we'll probably be reaching out to George for this. Okay, governance, it's me again, Jesus. Okay, for governance, I've been taking quite a few trainings, paid trainings, so that's been coming out of the budget there for that area here. I still, on my list to purchase cloud storage in some way, a hard drive for all this documentation and stuff. So that's going to be coming down the pike. Under legal litigation, we do have two things here. One is the ongoing PUC investigation, which Joe briefed us on in executive session. So that's an ongoing matter, as well as our proposal with Eastville. That's now in Joe's hands. Both of those are in Joe's hands, legal representative's hands there. So not much we can do with that until Joe deals with it. Under legislation here, ordinances, resolutions, and so forth, have you caught wind of what's going on in Big Beaver with the data center stuff?
Did you go to the meeting last
I
night?
did not.
Man, you
I
should've.
edited the video today, or I did the sound for one of the videos.
I figured you would have been there.
Oh,
You couldn't get in.
Yeah, they blocked off
They blocked it
all
off.
news,
Yeah,
radio
it
and stuff.
is.
Yeah.
So a guy I know live streamed it, and he asked me to do the sound. I fixed the sound for him today. I just posted for the meeting tonight. That was a bit of a weird thing, but that raises a point for us. All around us, small municipalities like us are finding themselves having to face this issue. I don't know how we're going to face this issue or what that even means, but it's happening, and I don't think we could even rule out the possibility that this 50 acres of industrial land that we have might be on the radar of somebody who wants to put something in there that maybe our citizens agree with or they don't. So I don't know. But what's on the table now for so many people are data centers, and I just learned today, Little Beaver, which is north of Big Beaver, in Orange County, they have an issue with a gas pumping station. They want to come in, a gas pumping station wants to come in and buy up a bunch of land. So residents are facing that battle too. Apparently that's in connection with data centers. So this is a mess. One of the things that came out in a lot of this stuff that really intrigued me was that little municipalities like us, Hayseeds, Hootervilles, however you want to put it, we're targets. We're targets to these big corporations who think they can come in and,
Where's
with
this
their lawyers.
land that you're talking about? Where's this land at?
The old B&W.
B&W down there.
Is there 50 acres on our property?
I think
Is he
total,
talking about this?
all the industrial is like 50 acres.
Yeah.
I think so, per the zone.
Tell me
I
about
looked, I just clicked on the,
But
Yeah.
that's
Where BMW are.
B&W, most of that, and isn't most of that on the other side of the bridge in Beaver Falls?
So
No,
you
no.
can clear down
No,
Blade Street.
only one part's on the other side.
where
But this isn't big enough for what they need.
Well,
They need-
there's a lot that's changing too, like the
There's some-
data
there's some
center,
companies
like
down
NVIDIA
One
is
thing is
actually
others,
testing
we-
mini data centers
Right.
that
Yeah,
just,
somebody has
they
to-
look like air conditioner units that just go on the side of your house. They're paying you they're paying your electric bill for you to host it.
Well, what I will say is,
Seriously, it's crazy.
that area is an I-2, which the first thing it says is data processing in industrial labs and stuff.
I'm lost.
That's in our ordinances, so somebody
No,
can,
it's changing the technology.
So we need to change our ordinance then.
well,
in our description.
if you've been tuned into what happened at Big Beaver, it's crazy, but their council changed their zoning to make data centers, what's the term? There are two terms. One is
Like,
permissible and
yeah,
one
they
is
don't need approval.
conditional.
Yeah.
Yeah, just follow what's on here and you're in.
And it was in the middle of a lengthy other ordinance or something like that they did it. It was like kind of hidden in there. It was like very vague wording saying that they don't need permission to put anything there. And that's what the uproar is about, I think.
Well, in that 50 acres, is that the parking lots too? Because there can't be, and that area between West, what is that, 4th?
West Fourth, yeah.
And the railroad tracks,
Do you
there's
want to
not
see the map?
near enough space there to do.
I really think they're going to get smaller than what they are.
What they're
I think so.
currently
Pretty big.
But I think the point here for us is to anticipate things based
will
on what's
happen.
happening around us. How can we protect ourselves as best as possible, right? Follow the will of the citizens. I floated this out here with solar things one time. A lot of people are against it, some people are for it, data centers. A lot of people seem to be against it. But what can we do within our world of the zoning to make this to put in the safeguards, right?
Yeah.
Where, like, if you have that, not conditional, what is it? Is it where they would have to go through a whole hearing, and there would be all kinds of checklists, and we could demand, well, you need a sound study, you need a water study. We could actually write that in there as provisions into our zoning for data centers. I think what a lot of people are hot about in Big Beaver is that deal seemed to be cooking already before the council got, and so there's a lot of people really angry at their council over this whole thing.
I don't want to sound stupid, and I probably will, but I don't know what a data center even is. I'm
Just
not
a
sure what
bunch of
this
servers.
does. It's just information, just brought in and stuff.
It's
Is that what it is, or?
powerful servers that just basically for AI, for the AI
Okay,
boom.
okay.
It's just like
And it sucks up a ton of electric and
Water.
water.
Yeah.
Well, down where my son lives in
Oh.
Gainesville, Virginia, they're putting in tons of data centers everywhere. Everybody's electric's going up. People live within 5 and 6 miles of the first few that went in. They're experiencing severe migraines and headaches.
It makes humming,
It,
like
Yeah.
something.
well,
that
it
you're
has a
humming.
high pitch
Yeah.
that you
Frequency,
can't
yeah.
hear, and these people are getting sick from it.
This down here, this is 20 acres. I'm sorry. I may have counted up all this stuff here when I got to 50 something. This is 20 acres.
It's kind of like the same deal as fracking, right? Like, it's gonna cause issues.
That's not that area.
What is,
Northwest
what's
bound
the
through this
issue,
too.
you know?
And what if that mill was still out, it's down
bought a
there,
farm,
you know,
they're
then they
putting it
would
in,
definitely
they
have
stop it.
50 acres.
We did
Oh,
that
yeah,
because
yeah. So, yeah, I mean, these guys have big money, and this is worth billions of dollars to them.
solar
So
farm.
I really think that we should think about this
Just
in a serious
throwing
way.
a tax on there, so if they do it, West Mayfield makes a lot of money.
Well, I'm inviting the man.
I have no idea, why
I'm
not?
inviting the man from Spring, Texas to come to our business owners roundtable. He actually has a local representative here, and I can't remember her name. It's Linda or Debbie or Patty or something like that. So she's the one that I'm going to address the invitation to, because Kathy Brewer told me that this man, Mr.
Aper. He's in, actually Arizona.
Is it?
He's the one that has
address is in Spring,
BMW.
Texas. But anyway,
Mixes it up with
he's,
BMW.
Kathy's point of view was that he's interested in unloading this property. So what I hear you saying is that Big Beaver did not represent its citizenry in the decision that the council made. Sounds like that's what you're saying.
And there's really no way to rezone something that's already zoned.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you
Like,
can.
But that's, so we
Like,
wanna make a decision
even
for
if
our
they're like
community.
active right
Who's
now,
wanting to sell?
like, we wanna be able to
The guy that owns
rezone
the old
somebody's
mill.
property
The
right
old-
now, right?
The whole thing?
I don't think so.
Well,
Yeah, right,
That's
so
the
since it's
company.
already zoned
telling you
as
what
like a
Kathy
data,
said,
like,
that
we
is
couldn't
that
do anything
he
with
would
that,
like
right?
to, why would
Probably,
he keep it?
right.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's a tax write-off.
Because they're
Yeah,
still
so
working.
Huh?
Yeah,
It's still working. The mill's still working.
It's
so
part of it
the
that he
only
ends
thing
up
that we
Not,
doing
yeah,
can
is
not,
do
not
on that
Pete Mac or
is
whatever that one is that's
if,
still working, the
put in
rest
a
of it.
policy or
It's just like
ordinance
the one
of
in
if
Beaver
that
Falls
happens,
On the other side.
37th Street.
then
Right.
X, Y, and
all the way
Z
down
has to
there,
happen
they're selling all
too.
that off.
That's
So-
Beaver Falls.
So we should think about what we could do
Albert is.
to
Yeah.
prophylactically, was
that
a weird
word
way to
for
put that. If a zoning data center comes knocking at Mr. Abear's door and saying, we will give you, 80 million bucks to sell, and he says, okay,
I too.
and they'll be coming to us, how do we protect ourselves?
Yeah.
So I think we should pursue that.
Yes, and to do it before that happens, and to do it to the benefit of the community, not for the benefit of a few people on
Data
council.
processing,
Maybe that's what happened in Big Beaver, I don't know, but.
It's a mess.
that
It's
could be a
mess.
loose term
Alpert.
from
Yeah.
back then.
Alpert, right.
And you could easily,
So that's something that I will gladly sort of dive into. Anyone who wants to help with that, that's great. I do want to, if you happen to see the comments before you got to a meeting here, one of the citizens made a comment that there was nothing on the agenda about the fire service review recommendations from 24. And what is not on here is actually something that is in the Monday memo. I do want to move on adopting the International Fire Code. And I had conversations with Chief Stowe about that. He thinks that's appropriate. They have it in Beaver Falls, other places. I think that is one ordinance thing that related to fire safety that we can adopt easily and in short order. So I will be looking into that there. But
Our fire code?
the International Fire Code.
Can you post that link?
What is
on-
that?
It is it's part of the suite of the whole international property maintenance, international fire code is another standard. It's part of these standards, international suites that are basically a universal kind of standard for municipalities. Fire code is one of them. If you look at our fire code in the ordinances, it goes back, like way back. It's ridiculous. It's meaningless. It's so old and defunct.
But this is something that has to do with the fire department,
Yeah.
not with my end.
No. It's not
Yeah,
building
you
code
gotta be
stuff.
careful with that stuff.
That's right. This is all fire department kind of stuff. It probably intersects with the code somewhere. I don't know, but that's something that I think we should pursue. It was one of the recommendations from the fire committee, fire service review committee. Chief Stowe recommends it. It's anyways, but if you remember all the times that when council went around the horn and they came to ordinance, and there was nothing for ordinance, no plan, no discussion, nothing for ordinances. But yet, we also heard lots of complaints about the ordinances. Lots of complaints, things that are old, things that are not functional anymore, things that need to be fixed, yada, yada, how do we go about this? Oh, it's a big thing. So what I'm trying to do is trying to get on with it. Let's get this ball moving. We live in a real world. We all have 24 hours in a day. We have to sort of maximize our, be frugal with our time. So I just want to not let this drop through, this area of ordinances that we can attend to. I think we can do a solicitation ordinance rather easily, quickly, adopt the International Fire Code there. I think we could do an amendment to the zoning ordinance around data centers. I think that wouldn't be that big of a lift.
You gotta put it all together and give it to Joe at one time. That's what he told us before. He doesn't want one. He
Puts
get
it
a
all
bunch together and
That's
give
the
it all.
problem,
Well,
we've been nickel and diming it with, let's do yard sales and let's do this and,
Well, a whole structure of our ordinances is bad. Have you ever seen the online ordinances that other municipalities have?
Oh, yeah, they're nice.
What's that company that they use typically? PSAB recommends a different one, but what's that called? It's all organized, it's searchable,
New Brighton's is nice,
universal.
Patterson's.
There are thousands. That is a lot of money to do that. And then there's ongoing upkeep for that sort of stuff. I don't know if we're there yet, but I think we should attend to things that we need to attend to as a priority basis, and we could do this piecemeal, for lack of a better way to put it. So we do address the needs of the community. So I will be working on that. Let me skip down here. The Municipal Records Archive. I changed the access to that. It used, if you click on the link, you could access it. I changed it because I realized, I put some stuff in there that kind of sensitive information. So I changed the access to it. So it's restricted now, but it's anybody you want to see it or whatever. I think eventually each item will have its own access thing on a new kind of a cloud server thing. But I just want to tell you, because if you go to the link and you kind of try to look something up, it doesn't go anywhere. That's why, right? Security thing. All right, the stamp analysis recommendations. I may have mentioned this. I got contacted by Dana O'Connor. She said, we're almost done with this stuff. She sent me this spreadsheet, all these tabs, all these different areas. It was beautiful, just beautiful. They're going to run that by George Newsom and his group. They get that signed off on. They will share that with us. And then we will then see what the sum total of that project is. I think at that point, our 5-year clock will begin to then act upon those recommendations and so forth with the help of George Newsom and DCED, which is, I believe, a 90-10 split. So if there's a grant, we would only have to pay 10%, and they would 90% because of this program that we're enrolled in. So that's coming. We actually should have been here by now, but that's coming. Professional development, there's one coming up on June 11th, municipal risk blind spots. Believe me, I don't want to sit through this. It sounds like the most boring thing. But, it's the business we're in. So I will be attending that. Anyone wants to attend it with me, we could do it here. If not, I will have the recordings and stuff. They'll be posted so everyone can have access to it.
That's a paid one, right?
Yeah, it's paid, yeah. Vacancies, so we have no one threw their hat so far interest in the vacancy that we have from Bob Codd. I think we're not quite at the 30 days, but we will be this month at 30 days. We'll kick it over to our vacancy board for another 15 days after that.
If only there was someone named Nora that would step
No,
up and
we're getting into it.
that'd be awesome.
Nora, we know a Nora.
I think she goes by Aunt Nora.
Aunt Nora. Aunt Nora.
We could put that on the name tag.
I like volunteering and that's good enough.
Still is like volunteer.
It is.
There
It
was
is
a guy
volunteer.
that came in third
If
in
you
the
get paid, it's volunteer.
I don't remember his name, but
Well, let me say something about this. I actually put a feeler out there, and let me try to pull it up here.
I tried getting a couple people, and the one backed out. And another one I mentioned, I said, "You did it once." He goes, "Nah, I'm good. I did that, and I'm good."
Bostic.
Yeah, I tried Boston. He said, "I'm good."
I've been trying to get Jim to join back on for I don't know how long.
Yeah, and he's like, "You got that, Jason. That's all you, buddy."
That's exactly how he talks too. Yeah, I did post about this, and I kind
I
of just
see what you're trying to do,
I
Justin.
put it out there that I'm trying to pull it up here. That
I love you, Jim. I hope you see this.
I love it.
so this is a little press release here. I put out there that obviously the requirements are minimum, but I would really like someone to submit a letter of intent along with an overview of their qualifications and interests that are befitting to service on council.
Well, that's probably why no one's applying, because you made the job application. I'm just messing
Do like them signs are alongside the road. No experience necessary. You been seeing them signs?
We'll train.
Okay.
On the job.
We'll work for
Yeah.
food.
So, anyway, I'm trying to interject a little bit of quality control in this process. But
I like, just, for whoever is listening, it's just like great to be able to make decisions and changes locally. Like, that you actually get to see. That's what I love about council, and I tell everybody that.
yeah,
It's just
sure.
like, what you do actually makes a
I
difference.
tried to say that in here.
Where at?
Blah, blah, blah.
there's a subliminal message in
Wait.
there.
Wait a minute, I quoted myself in here. But we are more than administrators. We are also community members. We live alongside friends and neighbors. We drive the same roads. We use our park. We want public safety and security for our own families. And we pay the same taxes as everybody else. Being on council is an opportunity to serve our community, shape our quality of life, and to help make West Mayfield a nicer place to live. End quote.
End quote.
No one's
Still no takers.
Still no takers. What are we going to do? We will. So technically, if we don't find somebody, we don't find somebody. That's what are we going to do? We will limp along with a vacancy but that will be open, right? But we'll just have to keep moving forward. So, okay. So that is that. Public safety. Sue Wood, you are the oversight and accountability chair.
I need a partner.
You did. We need help. How's your budget doing?
Well, I don't know about that. I did purchase a trail cam,
Yeah.
and it was under $100. And there's been stuff online about what we've seen on the trail cam, that people aren't stopping at stop signs, and
Yeah, we're gonna show a little video here. in a
Are
bit,
we?
in a bit,
Okay.
Yeah,
you can see Mark Brewer and Sadie the dog enforcing the law. It's pretty funny. So anyway, we're trying, it just, again, camera purchase, there's a couple of other things further down, but we're trying to get people to stop at stop signs, and
Well, why don't we jump down there?
Okay, let's jump down there.
So I put this issue of traffic and roadway pedestrian safety
almost at
under
the bottom of the page.
under public safety. It's down the last item there under public safety. As a safety matter, as opposed to a public works matter. It involves public works, right? If you haven't seen it, Brian did a great job putting some signage. I got some nice pictures here. Let's see here. Use my little dilly here. We got some nice. Here it is. Here it is. It's here.
On what page?
Which page? On
Which
65?
page of your?
I don't know.
Skip through the blah, blah, blah and get to the pictures.
I need to summarize this for Bob.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute, I'm looking at the wrong section, I'm sorry. Oh, come on, bear with me, guys. Okay, so here we go. So new stop sign here, nice new stop sign. We've got this down on Patterson. And, check it out.
Looks
So,
good.
so
Oh, that
I
looks good.
said to Brian, I said, hey, I think those stop bars should be a little bit thicker. I looked up the specs, 18 inches. And look, what a big difference, huh?
Yeah.
And how wide that is. There's little
I
things like
kind of
that.
liked it without it and watch Chrissy's camera when people go flying over that.
Very entertaining.
Fun to watch.
So, great job that you, Brian, and your crew for doing this. This is going to make us safer here, even though the crazies are out there driving around you, as you said. So traffic safety. Where are we here?
I love where everyone's putting the signs.
So stop sign compliance is one of these things that is
The
involved with
signs
this.
for police
So
watch.
Sue
Well, I
Sue
put
is
one right
working.
by my mailbox.
I saw.
Sue's working with Brian to look at the stop signs. If it needs to be replaced, we're gonna replace it. If we replace it, it'll be to spec, to code, right? Technically, 7 feet, ground to the bottom. There's some specs for that. It should be on a breakaway pole, yada yada. So that Patterson and Third is gotta be out of spec, non-compliance. That's gotta be illegal as heck. That thing-
Well, we
One of the
either
mirrors.
leave it up and nobody hits it, or we change it and we have to keep changing it. Because they'd like to run them over whenever they don't have a big chunk of concrete around them.
It is a serious discussion to have around these things that's questionable. We were looking at one, when you come down Harbison, down to West Third, that intersection there, that I think that needs to be addressed. And there are some specs on that to deal with that.
Because it's hard to pull back out there right by the shop. Like when you're coming down off Harbison, they fly up over the hill. You have to pull clear down past the
Well,
stop
you
sign.
have to
can
pull
see it.
down to the stop sign and then get out on the West Third and then go up to the other
that's what I'm
stop
saying.
sign.
You can't. That's what I mean.
That's what you're supposed to be doing.
Yeah, but I mean, you do that, but they still fly over the hill to make that left to get up to
We
West
looked at
Third.
it the other day and it really looks like there needs to be some white lines drawn.
Yeah.
Because some of that is parking lot. I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, you put a storage units there before the
Yeah.
parking lot, correct?
PennDOT has a nice guide review on that, and they actually show an intersection just like that, and they show how it's laid out. Of
There's a big,
standards.
like, a sort of a triangle or something like a triangle, that's just kind of a dead zone.
Right.
So we're working on the stop sign compliance stuff with also lens into street signage, markings and so forth. So Matilda 36, this is one thing, the camera, now we got this camera for research purposes, because we can't use it for anything else. But I want to show you some video. We're gonna
I
see.
don't go flying through the sky. Slow down.
Stop sign.
So you can see the stop sign right there.
So whose truck is that?
That's Mark Brewer, but he knows the cameras there.
Look at
Who's
that.
that?
Well, surely Mark Brewer stops, because where do you see him run out and yell at somebody?
That guy
For not
stopped.
stopping?
Good one.
Where do you see the school bus? It doesn't stop.
I've seen them before.
Jed
That's
stops.
Jed, he always, yeah.
Oh
he's
man,
pretty
am I
good
gonna
about
be
this
on
stuff.
this running? I run right past that. Hope you edited.
That's a Hollywood stop.
They almost all are.
Up in the Oil Street, they all are.
That's Kathy's wind chime.
There he is again.
There's Mark again.
Yeah, you better.
That's
Doing
jeez.
laps here or what?
He's not really stopping all the way.
That didn't stop at all.
Look at that.
You?
That was a Hollywood whatever. No way. Nobody stops.
So notice where they actually are slowing down, right?
There's
So
Prime.
we think that where they actually stopping or slowing down is where a stop bar needs to go.
That wasn't
Is
a
that Terry?
There was barely a
Terry
slowdown.
Yeah.
That was no stop. Oh.
Well, you gotta kind of watch. You gotta hurry up and get through there because people coming this way don't have to stop.
Yeah.
No, that one didn't stop at all.
Hey, look
Oh,
at
That's
that.
the best one so
There's
far.
the stop.
I would never do that.
Kathy probably told him there's a camera there.
So I come to find out that, you do not need to stop at the stop sign. I always thought you did.
No.
You stop at the intersection, yeah.
Yeah, definitely the
Stop.
intersection. If there's a stop bar, you must stop at the stop bar. If there's a crosswalk, you have to stop there.
Is that you, Tina?
Mhm.
You
Oh,
almost stopped.
look at that guy. Look at that guy.
You can't tell who it was.
Oh,
That guy just went, whoa.
it's the water authority.
Watch. You can hear Mark. Mark and Sadie.
You gonna go and punch him or something?
Mark's hot. He's
petting the dog.
That's public record.
Well, it has OP on the end. Isn't that optional?
I did say, yeah, you're right. So this year, people seem to follow that very well. Anyways, we have two of these videos that we got, and I think this really sheds a lot of light on the nature of this and where we could probably put a stop bar and the word stop. Oh, look at
There you
that.
go.
Barely moving.
3 miles.
Well, they're not stopping at that one
They're
either.
not stopping out.
It's just a suggestion.
Yeah, that's good.
There's the ice cream truck.
Did they stop?
No, those are Kathy's chimes.
So
Yeah,
you see right here.
No, but it was the.
If you had to stop at the stop sign, you'd get killed if you were on that street coming
Yeah.
by Luger's.
Yeah.
Did you ever see that stop sign sets about a half a block back? So if you stopped there and then took off, you're gonna get slammed.
PennDOT did a big study. They looked at how people were stopping if they stopped and why, and then they applied all kinds of treatment like stop bars, the word stop, the different placements of the stop signs. And what they found is people will always stop or slow down where they can best see, right? And so this is what people here. They're coming to this spot right here so they can see down the street, right? So this is the natural stopping point here, right? So and
You
what
gotta get past Kathy's porch.
what the studies also found is that no one thing, a properly placed stop sign or a stop bar or a word in itself does the trick. Altogether, it has a real statistical difference. So if we leave the stop sign where it is, I think that's okay. Why move it? But if we put a stop bar, like where Kathy's fence is right there, and we put the word stop, and we'll put the camera back on there and see what happens. I think we'll have a significant difference.
If you see me going real fast through there, I'm going after a solicitor.
No excuses.
So it's there for a reason, Mark said.
So is that camera there? Could we put that on Facebook and say, we have a camera on Matilda now, so everyone's getting their picture?
Well, okay,
If you
so
announce it, they're gonna stop.
it's a bit of a touchy thing.
You don't think they'll stop?
I think it's a
They'll stop
recording
it, then
thing,
you take
right?
it
And
down,
blasting
don't
people.
I think it should.
Maybe
I
give
know.
a name
It's
to a
on,
habit
it's
stop.
It's on private property.
Sure.
Right? Kathy gave us permission to do it. If we do it on behalf of the borough, I think that's a bit of a problem.
I don't think we should say anything.
I
Just
don't
say the
either.
camera's
That's
there.
why, well, I like this footage for its research value, right? We could also use that camera back here if we have issues back here. Anywhere, it's battery operated or
I love it.
this is plugged in.
Put a sign that says, say cheese.
Yeah, they'll stop.
I love
This is on
Mark
18,
going out there
on 18.
yelling at that
There's
guy.
signs that say that right there.
Denial.
Yeah.
So that's kind of an interesting thing, but really, I think the goal of this is to make these intersections safer, however we can, using these tools. And so this kind of shows us, maybe we'll try it and we'll see what happens. So that's where we are with that.
So Brian's putting a bar and a stop.
Yeah, if we could put a stop bar there and a word stop, I think we can leave that stop sign where it is. I don't think there's any reason to
Okay.
move it. And then we'll put the camera.
You can tell where you need to stop. That's where you put the bar.
Yeah, that's
Okay,
like
what
you
about
see-
the other direction coming out?
Kathy's fence.
I like the ones that go like
I think
this,
that's
those
standard.
diamond
People seem to be
things
stopping right to stop sign.
that really
If
make
you
you
put a
see
stop bar
it.
there,
You see the word stop.
Yeah.
Coming
in that
from this way
diamond.
up the hill, sometimes you end up having like too many cars on the sides of the roads. She has vehicles on the sides of the road, so you're having to like weave in and out of that whole area through there.
right.
You know, I mean, it's just,
Yeah.
I don't know.
The other, it just reminds me, the other thing about that study was, it sounds counterintuitive with all these regulations and stuff. It really just depends on the intersection. If it's confusing with cars around, and if it's, the roads are shaped a certain way, whatever, you just got to apply these things according to the intersection. Right, so there aren't really set rules.
Some people just aren't gonna stop.
Some people will never stop, right? So,
No.
but
If you're gonna see the distance.
in this world, a reduction is considered a win. A reduction in this kind of behavior is considered a win. And Kathy, she's really hot about, she sees it because the kids there, you guys see it, the kids are around, that's our big concern, right? So if we can slow people down with this sort of stuff and stop it, it's a win.
Well, we got these, kids playing signs on Matilda, 2 of them.
Yeah.
And also now, neighborhood watch signs.
Yeah.
They went like hotcakes. There's 2 left, but there's no stakes for them, but, we're
Oh,
gonna
there
get
should be more stakes. Wasn't there a pile somewhere? Did I see a
They
pile?
all got taken. they
No,
all
there's
got
gotta be
used.
more. Isn't there some over there?
That's for those signs.
Oh, yeah, there's a bunch of them over there.
That's for the SSO signs. The sewer signs.
Oh,
I might have some in my
Okay.
house.
I mean, you put
Okay.
one in your window, so it can be.
Okay,
I
so-
like my son in
So
my
let's
window.
go back up here to our program of code enforcement. You guys
You got
have the
everybody.
everybody
reports,
can see it.
monthly
We
reports?
We will for the next meeting, for the monthly meeting.
We should have them for this meeting.
Since
Beginning-
when?
Beginning of the month.
The what?
Beginning of the
First
month.
of the month.
First of the month reports for last month.
We always wait until I get all my stuff together before the regular meeting.
Do you need to do that?
Well, cause I got at least one more inspection coming up next month. Now you're doing, it's kinda confusing. We're trying, well, I don't know. If you want them for this meeting, we'll start doing them for this meeting.
Well, yeah, Eli, all the public safety stuff, and even we got the police report already. We're trying to get them as close to the first. Look, I understand, if you have stuff to do, but I'd like to have them,
Okay.
so maybe we can even have them discussed here. We can discuss issues that you're having here at the work session, as opposed to the business meeting.
We're really not having any issues. We didn't do a whole lot in this past month.
Did
Had a
that
couple.
second group of letters go out? Or we only got one?
Yeah, we got one back.
Okay, so you guys will get us written reports?
Yeah, you'll get it next meeting. If you want it for this meeting, we'll do that for
Well,
next
get
month.
it as soon as possible, and then I can put
Yeah, we
it,
got one.
Oh, okay.
Last week,
You know what I
I
mean?
sent it to you.
All right.
Yeah.
Like that of the week.
we kind of want to avoid making these, look, it's 8:27 already. And this is where we discuss stuff, so it's a long meeting, but we don't want the other meeting to be long. You know what I mean? So if you get that stuff out there, it goes in the records, we can all have a chance to look at it,
Okay.
okay? Alrighty, any citizens' issues, complaints, code world?
We did get a complaint from, who did I just go see?
Right next to the corner tavern?
Yeah, the one, the house next to the corner tavern. But there was
Right.
another one, there was a couple of them I went and seen, or, I'm talking
Wait
to
for the
Sue's
apartment
neighbor.
guy, the apartment,
The apartment guy
with the
over
back
here,
issue.
Adloff.
Yeah.
But we're getting good results from everything. I got a call, I go look at it, get it under control, and that's that.
What did you
It'll be
say?
in a
What
report.
did you say to Mr. Erdos that made him cut the grass?
And get his grass cut.
That was it?
No, send him a letter.
They sent him a letter.
Send him a letter.
Hey, Justin.
He went and
Yes,
he
sir.
spoke with him
Could you
first.
give me some of
And
that?
then we
Coffee?
waited nicely, and then we mailed them a certified letter.
Oh, oh, stick our
What,
fingers
what,
in it.
Scout?
Other ones
Scout.
didn't.
And just stir it up.
How is the rental?
I don't think
property
he'll drink
licensing
it black.
Suck
Give me
it.
some of that.
Yeah.
I probably
weren't
need that
paying.
one.
They're not
There you go.
mailing
Is that
them.
red light
How
still on?
many
Do
did
we
you just
need to put
do
your button
this
in?
second go around? There was easily like 40 or
At
50
least
of them.
40.
Yeah.
Yeah, at least 40.
I mean, over half haven't
I'll take a
turned
little
them
bit more.
in.
Is
I
it
mean,
still hot?
since last time when I gave you that paper,
we're gonna-
one.
Come on.
One.
Just about a half.
Kind of isn't worth
That's good.
reprinting a piece of
I think
paper over one day.
I think next year we need to have a due date
A deadline.
and then raise the price after the due date. Or do $75,
Yeah.
$75 or $50, which is what we're charging if paid by a certain date.
That's the problem, we didn't put no due date, we didn't put no, that said, hey, if you don't pay by
Well, the
June
second round we
30th. We did on this one,
Yeah.
because I just made it up,
Yeah.
you know?
What's the stop you for?
We did,
We did.
put a due date on this one,
Right.
we went out for the second group, like the end of the month, and then, guess what? Then we had mailed them all letters saying, we're going to match rates, that way you can't have a rental property, you know?
Just remember, this is all new.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great.
You know?
And it's a lot of stuff going
Now,
on.
I would encourage you, anything that you need, right? I mean,
You know?
let them do it.
I mean,
Tell your accounts
You know,
what
we
we're
like to start
doing.
trying to do the inspections, but it's almost like you wanna try to get the things.
I gotta figure out how to charge them for these inspections. Do I charge them before or after the inspections? Because they gotta pay to get their places inspected. Or next year, we change it and just charge more, and then we
Inspections
just go
included.
do the inspections for free. That's how Beaver Falls does it.
So then he knows worry about picking up money later on. then.
Yes.
Right.
I like that.
Probably
That's
better.
less work all around.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pay ahead and
Yeah.
get it done.
Well, whatever you guys need to do.
We'll do that for next year.
Another,
Okay. I don't know why, you know, you can do it now.
trying.
You know, you could do.
Well, we've already sent the letters out to
Oh, well, I
everyone.
mean, the next round, I mean, if you do anything beyond this first batch. we're gonna have-
Well, this is the second one. This is the second way that she just sent out last month.
How many rounds are there?
We'll do with.
Over 100.
Anything else for code enforcement?
Yeah.
To bring it up.
Okay.
Other than
Just trying to figure out
being on
how
a
to.
payroll.
Cause we're not.
We will work on the job description,
Yeah, we're,
because a part of that is the compensation, right, that goes
we're
with
there.
that.
Yeah.
Speeding dangerous.
Is it specifically in there, the compensation for the job
It
description?
says we'll figure it out.
I thought we were supposed to figure it out at this meeting.
We haven't decided what the job entails.
I thought you said you just made it for us. Oh, what was all that you put in green?
Did you read it?
No, I didn't even know it was in there.
You might wanna read that before we have a
We need
conversation.
to.
Alright.
I mean, to be
So
fair,
invasive.
Well, basically, her job description is what she's doing now. We're taking care of all the landlord leases
To
and.
your house, you got that knotweed all through your house. Okay, good.
I will take that.
I can't get rid of that.
I know, it's all down
Yeah,
rock.
so.
Oh, yeah, I
what
know. I was just
the
coming up there
actions-
today.
I've been pulling
To
this
get
stuff out.
everywhere.
Well, I've been
You
pulling
can't
little
get it.
pieces.
So we should just wait, not do anything else
It's
with
got
this
roots going
until
everywhere.
we figure out what her pay is, right? Is that what you're saying?
Let's
Oh,
look
yeah,
at
it keeps going on
Let's get
and
the
on.
job description
Dig the
squared away
roots up.
first. Take a look at it.
It's in that
Weigh
ditch.
in on it.
It
If
was
there's something you wanna
worse stuff.
change, you think needs to
I've
be
been trying for
changed.
40 years to get rid
So,
of it.
you
I
know,
still
join
can't
the
get rid of it.
conversation. That's what we need to do, is have a conversation.
I was skimming through all that. I
Yeah.
didn't,
was just a
so
little
you have
piece
to
of it.
actually click
But
on
then
something
it
else
just
to see what
explodes
job
when you-
It'll
description
jump
you
too.
put in there,
It
right?
goes
Well, if
from
you
here,
look
and then
at
all
the
of a sudden it'll be
one
over here,
the
and then
email
it
I
starts
sent
going
has
everywhere
the-
if you don't get it under control. It's like,
Yeah,
man,
it's
come
a
on.
draft. Right, open up, take a look, I can put comments in
I
there.
can't take a
Well,
long.
I missed that, that's what I'm saying. I must have,
I tried doing
you have to
it.
click on something else to get
I'll
into
cut
it.
it
Doesn't have
down.
to take a
I
look.
went
at,
down and I chopped it
And,
down.
and once that's done, and you guys are happy with what that role is,
Their driveway
and
down.
compensation, throw that
I chopped it
compensation
down so
as
she could see up
whatever
rocks.
you
Yeah.
think that is,
Down,
300,
she
what,
wanted to turn down.
right?
She could see
Then we
down
can,
towards.
I think,
But
vote and approve, that's
and I'm like,
that's
down
what
like
he's
doing
getting
it, it's just
at
gonna
in
spread
so
more.
many words.
Because it triggers a
I'm
spreading.
just saying, all this stuff
I
she's
started
doing,
pulling the roots out.
she's not
I
being
spent almost an
compensated for
hour.
nothing.
I'm saying is,
Probably
if you review
at
that,
least an hour this
and
past
you
time.
bring that,
Digging
I mean,
40 weeds out.
I don't think there's any reason why we
But
couldn't
it's
approve
gonna
something
come
like
back.
that
Yeah.
next
Unless you
meeting.
kill it, we're gonna find a way
Like at a
to
regular
dispose of
business
that.
meeting, as long as it's
It's a
tidied up.
We need
Do you agree
to
with
find
that?
a way to dispose of it.
Okay, guys, listen, we're still in session here. Okay,
This is under.
we're still in session here. We're talking about code enforcement. We're finishing up code enforcement, actually, if you don't have anything else, Bob. Let's move on to emergency management. We did receive the report from our emergency management. Let me just pull it up here real quick so you can see it.
Right there.
Let's see. 60. So this report from Eli says, it says basically, what is the borough's current state of public safety readiness? Ongoing. Additional comments, met with Chippewa Township EMA team in preparation for countywide power plant drill in June. Now, what we know, what I would love to have heard about today were a couple of things. One is, what about that trailer? What do I think about that trailer?
Still sitting up at, Eaton's house. Still there. I go by it every day. Still there.
I would assume that would have been in the report. There was an incident where an elderly person needed electrical power, and Eli did come through, took a generator
Saturday.
over there on Saturday.
After he said no.
He said no, I guess.
Did he?
But I would love to have heard about that. So there are some things, and Eli told me at the last meeting that they did receive some special needs cards from the county. I would love to have heard about how he's handling that and so forth. So, but he's not here, and so we got that report. You saw it, and doesn't tell you much, but that's where we are with that. In July, I would like to approve the emergency operations plan. And you can see right here, this is all the stuff that has happened with this plan so far. From June of last year, when we passed a resolution saying we're going to update this, put it on a biennial schedule, to Eli giving us a copy, us saying this isn't worth approving yet, it needs more work, to me sending it off to county for review, on and on and on, right? Adding the SSO policy and so forth, us, public safety group, combining all three elements together into one document, that's in there, so here we are. But I would like to get this thing done. And so my suggestion here is that our action plan here would be, let's see here, by June 10th, I want to give this plan to Eli for his review. By the 15th, I want to send it down to county for their review. I'd like to present it to us in executive session for our review on July 1st. And I'd like us to pass the resolution approving this plan on July 8th. This way we'll be done with it. It'll be, all updated and hopefully, workable. It's a working document, so it doesn't have to be perfect, right? But this is my action plan. I want to get this thing done. I think you all agree. We don't want this thing hanging over our heads any longer here. So there's a little bit more work to do with it and so forth. So that's the plan for that. Fire prevention and protection here. We'll get the report from Mark. Community smoke alarm project. That's in the works.
Nothing new on that.
Nothing new on that,
So-
okay. Oh, here's the plan of action. I want to move towards adopting the International Fire Code. And, that fire code is actually one of the suggestions, recommendations from the Fire Service Review Committee. So, I hear the citizen who made the comment about, what about these recommendations? How come we
Who's
haven't
that?
moved them?
Who's the citizen?
Mr. Heaton,
I figured
Mr.
that.
Jason Heaton.
I go up the street, he turns around and goes the other way.
I
He will
think
not
it's a
look
fair-
at me.
I think it's a fair statement. And, okay.
Yeah, so let's get it through as quick as possible.
Well, there are a lot of things on there. There's 36 of them in total. We have knocked some off, and we are working some others. Planning and zoning here. I guess those reports will be combined, right? Planning and zoning and the code enforcement.
Yeah.
By the way, if you're wondering why planning is thrown in here, this is the terminology. It's planning/zoning.
Right.
Or planning zoning officer, PZO, right? So, police protection, we got the report. It's on the Monday memo, if you want to take a look at that. I didn't really look at it too much, but it's on the Monday memo. It's also in the municipal archive already. And again, our contract expires December 31st. So, we need to do something about that. Okay, that's all for public safety. You have anything, Madam Chair?
I think we've covered it.
Okay. Public Works.
Before,
And
well, I want
Jason-
to bring something up.
Yeah.
He
Kind
feels
of,
this is safe.
it is at the end of safety, but
Yeah.
it's also works.
Uh-huh.
On Rock, and I know a couple other places I know, John's house too. This Japanese knotweed we need to address, like as a borough. Some of you might not notice it, but if you go down Rock, it's a constant. It grows over the road. It causes a hazard. Cars coming down, you can't see the edge of the road.
Yeah, Brian, you need to get the.
Well, no, it's not just that, but I'm saying we need to address the issue because it's spreading so fast because it was never past that garage there. Now it's up 2/3 of the way up Rock. I've stopped it at Lennox. I've spent hours pulling that crap. That's no other way to put it. It's a very invasive weed. It needs to be disposed of in a manner that, because if you throw it down the ground, it's going to reroot.
Yeah.
And what had happened, and I think some of it got cut and got pulled up there because when I pulled some of the roots out, it was like just a big ball of roots. I'm like, how the hell did this get here? Whether, but some of it is birds or whatever, who knows what, but it's certain places that's starting. So if you see one, it needs dug out by the roots and stopped because like as a borough, we need, it's going to take over. If you get it in your yard, John, he can totally attest. His whole hillside, he can't.
40 years they've been trying to get rid of stuff.
That's that stuff that along Ingrich, they were cutting
Yes.
yesterday.
Yeah.
Same thing.
They shut the road down to clean that
It's all
stuff
Yeah,
off
it is.
yesterday.
If we don't do anything, I've been here 20 years. Ingrich has just got so bad.
I can't picture it. Do you have a picture of it?
It's that weed that you've been down Ingrich. That's
Yeah.
the weed that grows completely onto the road. You can't get
Yeah.
by.
It's like a white flower. It's not really too ugly, but it is incredibly invasive.
Oh yeah, and you can't get rid of it once it's even slightly established.
Now, what can
you
we
can't
do
get
with it though?
That's
We
what I'm
allowed to
saying. We
spray
need.
it?
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's
Find
something we
something.
absolutely need to
Are
take
there
over.
eradication programs out there that you're aware of? Can you do some research on that? See if you can find
Well,
some.
I've done some
eradication.
on like I know it's noxious weed. You can't just burn it. Like, but that's what I'm saying. I'm coming to count saying it's under this to say what can we do as council to do. I've looked like what do to
Brian, you got any input on that?
What is it called?
because he shouldn't have to keep
Knotweed.
cutting this because it's going to keep
Knotweed.
spreading. The more you, I did do some research. The more you cut it, the thicker the roots start going to spread because it triggers a response in the plant that it thinks, oh, I can survive. It shoots out new runners.
Roots go out
Yes.
farther and farther.
And that's what happened on his hillside. He had one
Yeah.
little piece like 15 years ago. And he had a beautiful hillside with all these flowers. Now he can't do squat on his whole hillside.
So after all your research of that, what did you find out how to get rid of it?
Well, it's
Nobody knows.
No, that's what I'm saying.
I don't
We
think
need
that's-
to do
what's it
boroughs.
called?
Japanese knotweed.
Knotwood.
Knotweed.
Knotweed, there it is.
ANOT weed.
Is that them big weeds that you're?
Yeah, grow over top of the rock. It takes over.
Right
Yeah.
down rock in there?
But each piece that gets cut, say a piece is stuck and it drops somewhere, it's gonna clog the drain on rock on the one side. I've been digging it out of the drain and pulling it out so the water can run down to, because if you don't,
And one whole side up from the karate building area.
yeah, it's all covered, yeah.
That whole
But if you go up
Yeah.
past Jim, where Jim lives on that spot, up past where the Mayfield alley comes up, it's starting in that ditch. I cleaned that ditch, I chopped it down, I dug some of it out.
So the
because-
question is, what do we do about it?
Yeah, how do we
Would
do it?
would you do a
It's
little more
hard to get rid
research
of.
and see if you can find eradication?
Cut it down, it just grows right back into
Well, that's what I'm saying,
it.
right? Things that we can, it's gonna go beyond what,
It grows extremely
yeah,
fast.
that.
Will you,
Yep.
will
They
you,
pop right out.
Public Works,
Right.
will you
Here.
do
Those
some
pull right
research
out.
and see
Yeah,
if you
see
can
what I can find, huh?
Yeah, we
Those,
can,
they pull out real easy.
Yeah, but there's roots there underneath
oh
there.
yeah,
Yeah.
if you leave a piece of the root, it triggers a, cause
I
he
pulled
tried,
roots out of there. for
I got
years.
them
It
grown
just
in my
keeps
yard.
coming
but
back.
if you don't get
On the
rid of
other
it,
side of my driveway.
as soon as it finds the water source, it falls right on the water source, and it's clogging the ditches, and it's not fair to Brian if we don't do something about it.
Okay, well, we need to find out what we need to do about it, and there's, we're not the first ones to deal
Susan
with this.
Rains, it goes crazy.
So if we can find out
Yeah.
places that have addressed this and how they've addressed it, whether it's through chemicals.
See what I can find. huh?
Okay,
I'll
will you
look
do
into
that?
We
Okay.
got to look, huh?
We both look.
Yeah.
I'm interested, cause I don't wanna
Penn
have to.
State.
Try to get rid of it.
Well, you know, thank you, cause I had someone from Penn State come up and look at my two planters, I'll have to ask him.
Yeah, but ask the extension.
I do have that stuff, it's called Total Vegetation Killer.
But decimate our pond, because I looked into that. That's why the sprays, they did say something eradication, but the sprays will get into the water system, and when we do a water quality, it'll totally mess our water quality.
John's gonna do some research, we'll do some
I'll do
research
some
into that.
research,
Let's figure out.
Yeah, we can figure out.
Hey,
Make
Brian
some
did a
calls
great
to
job.
somebody.
Him and Gerald fixed a bunch of those manholes, or not manholes,
Great.
culverts, whatever you wanna call them, catch
We'll
basins.
talk
Yeah, they
about
did a
that when we
great
get
job.
to, let's talk about that when we get
Okay.
to the sewers here.
Where's the last page?
Public Works, how are you guys doing on the budget? You guys are going through some money, let me tell you. I mean, it's just the nature of Public Works, right? You're spending a lot of money. I'd be really curious to see, like, wow, what have we spent the money on and how much we spent the money on? I know we budgeted significantly for that, so, but that's just something to be mindful. I would say public safety and public works, two biggest expenditure areas in our budget here. So one way to relieve some of this is the PennDOT agility program here. Now, we had a meeting
Right,
the other Friday. We met with
Dean Paletti.
Dean Paletti from
Yeah.
Bridgeville.
Yep,
He
yep.
runs this thing.
Mhm.
So Dean gave us the scoop on this project. Really interesting. I learned a lot of stuff. I think we all learned a lot of stuff here. And so Dean gave us the paperwork for us to get going on this. And so I put links in the email and it's in the memo too. This is what this thing looks like. We got to fill this out. He gave us some nice cues here on how to do this.
Yeah.
But this, basically, not to belabor this, because you could read it. If we do there's no money involved, there's no supplies involved.
No.
It's services.
Right.
If we say to PennDOT, well, we will do snow and ice control on 37th Street, and we will clean the catch basins, right? We will do that. We'll figure out like what the value of that is. Say it's $7,000, right, a year. They would then be obligated to return to us $7,000 of a service of some type.
Right.
And man, do they offer a lot of stuff. So in this thing that I sent you, these are all the services that they will provide if we ask, if we think about it, we communicate with them. Everything from, say they're out doing a job nearby and they've got some equipment, they can come down and do that. Now they're only going to do in kind,
Right.
right? $7,000
Not gonna do
worth.
anymore.
They're going to do any more. So we have to really think about this, but it's a way for us to get some of this stuff done in the borough here. And there's a lot of stuff. Like, for example, and this guy said that maybe this wouldn't even be part of this scheme. But say we wanted them to come down and take a look at our roads and say, maybe the best thing for you to do is this with this road. Or this is the kind of material you should be using on this, right? They offer that as well, advice. They'll come down and they'll ride around with us and give us advice on stuff, how to prioritize our roads and stuff like that. So this is a big list. There's a world of stuff that we could get. But the first thing we need to do is get this agreement signed. We have to pass a resolution, and there's a template here at the end. This is we were advised to use their resolution paperwork because it goes through the lawyers faster. So we'll do that. So next week we will put this resolution on the table for us to sign. And then we will pass this on to Dean. And then, once this all gets approved, we will sit down and we'll come up with a plan. We will then talk about it.
Good thing we're painting, huh?
We will talk about,
Oh,
Scared the shit out of me.
Sorry.
No, it's okay.
yeah, that's something we really need to do.
yeah,
Help us out a lot.
communication and planning is the name of the game with this program. And also thinking ahead, right? So years down the line, we could even work that out with them. Because
We've discussed this before, years ago. That puts us in charge of, now we're in charge of 37th Street. Now, if anything happens, that's on us.
You don't need
That's
to
not
be.
how that's not how that
That's-
works. That's just voluntary. If you do that, say, we'll do this, you don't have to do that. You can do something else.
Right, I'm just saying,
That's
that's,
And we can leave that blank.
we've had that.
Yeah,
Okay,
We can just leave this blank for now, or if we have something we could do, but it all depends, whatever we figure out, it's a negotiation, right? And there's a form. We will do this, and then, here's the value, and then they will, whatever the value is, will in kind
but I
contribute.
think all they have here is just 37th Street and a couple manholes or culverts.
There
Catch
is,
basins.
there's Walls, parts of Wellston Road that might,
Yeah, that would be the question. If we say, yeah, we're gonna salt the 37th Street, that means they're not salting that at all. Is that correct?
yeah.
Okay.
That puts us in charge of
And
it.
by the way, there's also a
Because it's
program,
liable.
we didn't know about this, there's a program that they will actually pay us to do that, to take on that,
Right.
that hill. I mean, they figure out like, what it's
What
gonna
it
be.
would, what it would be worth for the winter or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah, I don't remember why we never did it, but we had this discussion before about that.
What I recall is that the borough didn't want to obligate themselves to something like that, but there's no obligation here, it's all above, above board up front. I was surprised that that there were no materials, because I thought, you might get some scratch or something, guardrails or something. They'll come in and put guardrails in for you, right, that sort of thing. Anyways, so I highly recommend, I think those of us who are at the meeting, Brian was at the meeting, we recommend that we move forward with this, and this is how we're gonna do it, through this resolution and stuff. Okay, so that's that on there. Any questions on that? Does that make sense? Okay. Public Works reporting, there is some stuff. If you look at the calendar, there's there's stuff around the roads. There's DEP stuff involved in here. We haven't heard back from the DEP guy, so
No.
this corrective action stuff that
They don't seem to know anything. They didn't know any more than we did, which was basically nothing.
right.
Oh, we don't know.
So I think this is one of those things that when we get a letter in the mail saying you haven't done this report, then we'll know what the report is, and we'll know where we stand, because we reached out
Yeah.
and we haven't got anything back. So that's where we are with that. Now, August 15th, I put on here as an annual asset inventory. Brian, I think you've done this in the past, right? You guys have made a list of, we have tools, we have what back there, you know what I mean? I think if you could find those lists and if we could revive those and start putting something together.
I mean, I haven't done them myself. It was always Louis or somebody back there doing it. I didn't know when they did it, or
Do you have some, the old documents?
I don't have any of them.
You don't?
I don't even think Lou did.
Oh, geez.
Yeah.
We have to
Just
start
making
from
sure
would've had
that
to
you
be-
knew that.
You would have had to go to his house.
Yeah.
We really do need to have a handle on our public works asset inventory.
I mean, that's been back since Bruce Harris.
Why don't we start with
He
the
did
big stuff for
nothing.
the
I
August
think,
report?
didn't Jake do something with
I think
with
that's
the
fair.
inventory back there?
I don't
We'll
know.
ask Jake if he has the document somewhere. So you're suggesting we start with big ticket
Yeah,
items
just like
first?
big stuff, like the trucks, the
Generators, power washer,
Yeah, power tools.
chainsaw.
Yeah.
Camera for the sewer.
because it kind of goes hand in hand with the insurance side of things, where
Yeah.
if the place burns down or if the place hits the lottery and leaves.
They just want to get like a tablet paper
Oh,
and
everybody's hitting the
write
lottery.
everything down.
Yeah, we'll formalize it.
Cause I remember, what was it, about a year or two ago, you asked me about serial numbers off a lot of the stuff.
Yeah, if there's serial numbers, that.
Yeah, that was for insurance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Make model serial numbers would be
Awesome.
great. Yeah, awesome. But this is a starting point, okay? And I think if we can get this on an annual basis, it'll be easy to do.
Yeah, especially like we get a new item, it's recorded when we get it.
Right.
Yeah, and then you go forward, we just always have it.
Okay, under building and grounds. So, we started this whole process of emergency power generator system. Ooh, I'll tell you, Bob Kai was sort of working this, and so we actually have some proposals. Brian, you're going to get a couple more.
Yeah.
Some people. So, just to give you an example. This is a Woodhurst. This was back in March, and so the sum total, bottom line, 12,651. That's for the generator, installing it, warranty, all that sort of stuff. There's a service plan that went with that. That was $300 a year. But Brian had gotten a quote from a guy named Samble, and so this was one quote with installing the generator and doing all the electrical work, including. Apparently, we need to have the Brian the
Panel updated.
the panel on the outside, on the pole, the weatherhead.
The meter?
The
It's just-
meter.
Oh, we need a heavier,
It ain't even connected to the pole. It's
Yeah,
just standing there.
and there's apparently water leaking
Yeah, all
down the
the
cracks.
conduit coming down into the meter box and stuff, it's all cracked and everything. The protector up on top,
Weatherhead.
yeah, the weather. He was saying that we should have the long one, cause it's got the short one and the water will go right up the ground cable, he said.
So we're gonna have to replace that.
He said there's a longer one that keeps that from doing that.
So this,
He doesn't seem like he knew what he was doing.
the samples, 14,675 for the whole works. He provides the generator, he installs it, gas, does that electrical work. And then, just without the generator, 7297. And Bob Kide was looking at, I think Costco had generators, they sold independently. So that's the way that we can go. We can buy the generator, purchase the service, get it installed, or we can get the whole darn thing.
What's Home Depot sell? Generac?
So Brian's going to get a couple more proposals, but I would like for us to make a decision in July on this.
One thing I was wanting to ask you on that, Kevin, that first one, what was his name? Not that same guy.
Woodhurst?
Woodhurst, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think he had on there for that, fixing all that outside
The entrance
stuff.
cable?
Right, he didn't. He didn't, so that'd be more.
My only concern on making a decision just comes down to budget and the GEMS agreement, right? What that money's doing there,
Okay.
right?
Okay. So let's revisit in July.
Sure, yeah.
But I'd like us to make a decision whether we move forward with a plan or we table a plan.
Yeah.
Right? We'll make some sort of formal decision. So we don't have to wait 16 years. between-
No, I'm with you, I'm with you.
Do this before we get rid of gems, so we can use the gems money.
Yeah, that's.
Then get rid of
we have
them.
that.
I know two people that would probably do the outside work way cheaper than that, like, way cheaper.
The first step was to understand what the heck we're dealing with here, what system would be appropriate. Now we discovered that electrical work needs to be done, yada, yada. So we're moving in the right direction. With Bob's leaving, that kind of put us back a little bit, but we will move forward with this. Security camera system. So we have a camera system back here. We have one camera that's on the blink now. I think it's, oh, you haven't seen it. It's one of the cameras, I think it's for the brush stuff in the back. I think that's on the blink. I don't know what the heck's going on with that. We still haven't logged into that. We haven't gotten into that. And also we discovered that, it was out there that down in the kitchen park shelter, there's a system that's powered. It's got an outside camera. You open it up and it's powered. There's a thing there. What the heck's that about, right? So I did a little deep dive into the minutes, whatever. So I come to find out that system used to be here, and they moved it from here down to there when they got this system, and then that thing I think had Wi-Fi and stuff, and then it stopped working, and then whatever, and then council just gave up. So I don't even know why that system's plugged in.
If our
there.
business meeting doesn't go till 10 o'clock tomorrow, or next week, I'll stick around and I'll do the security camera stuff
Okay,
here.
yeah, we'll be out of here.
We're not going that long.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, so
I'll help with that.
and so, Jason, to your concerns
Yes.
about cameras in the park, well, here we are. What do we do? You have any ideas about where to move? Look, we know that we need cameras. We know that we need to have good cameras, but what kind of cameras, what kind of system was appropriate down there?
We need signs too.
Yes.
I can speak to this a little bit.
Thank you. I was gonna say, Justin did.
Yeah, so this is something that some of those grants will pay all for, right? They take care of the DCED one and the green, or whatever grants expired already, right? They'll take care of the security aspect of public places.
Oh.
So like parks, you can roll in a camera system into that, and the camera system that we need down there, or honestly anywhere here, shouldn't be like a cheap Samsung thing that you get off Amazon for $300 or $200. Because the cameras itself, they should, if we're putting them up there for a reason, they got to do that purpose. So what's the reason? Here, we would need like a 4K camera that can read a license plate to see if someone's dumping illegally, right? We don't have that here, right? We know that, hey, there's a red truck. You know what I mean? So those camera systems, they can be a lot. I sent you an email of a breakdown. It would
like one was 9,000. That was on the low, and then there was like I think there was one.
It
12,
kind of depends on how
20,000.
many cameras, right? Yeah, like how many cameras and what's the purpose of that camera? Is the purpose of that camera just to get an outline of somebody and to deter them from breaking into a place, or is it, hey, I want to see that person's face and I want to know who that is,
Yeah.
right? So
You're saying we can get these for free?
you can basically get them for free. They're covered by those grants in public spaces. I don't know if the municipal building would cover that, but like for the park,
Down there we do.
for the park,
Yeah.
like when I was talking to the guy about getting like a grant, and I brought up cameras, the pickleball court expansion, he's like, you need an engineer drawing, put it all together, but yeah, we'll pay for cameras, and I think it was like 15% is what we had to pay of the total thing. But anything dealing with public safety in a public environment, that's what they strive for.
So you're talking about the Greenways Trails Recreation Program
Yeah.
grants?
Yeah, that one, and there was one
There's a park rehabilitation development grant.
yes, that one. I one of them's the DCD and one of them is the conservation.
Are those available now?
They expired
Last month.
in
April or something.
May 31st.
yeah,
But they're open in January.
exactly.
February.
So we have to get all this together by then.
And he said, like, basically, if you have an engineering group and you tell them what you want, they can do a drawing probably pretty cheap, because it doesn't have to be super specific. It's just like, hey, we're going to put a handicap accessible sidewalk around here, extend the fence. You know, that's what they care about. They care about
Probably a couple parking spots.
yeah.
Handicap.
So as long as we're doing that and making that space more publicly available and safe for the public, and we can show that, they're all in on
Well,
that.
we need to know what we're going for.
That's
Like I brought this up about the pickleball court a few times, and are we gonna go for that?
well, that's
I don't want to put. I've already had the guy, design.
we don't even need really quotes or anything on it. All we need is an engineered drawing, and with specifics of like I said, is they have it all outlined on their website on what they're looking for. But basically, like, what's the code for handicap accessible? It's like 80.
ADA approved.
Yeah, ADA
Americans with Disabilities.
stuff. Like, that's what they're looking for. So if we can show that we're doing that and throw expansions and making it safe for the public, they love that.
I
So
mean, like the bathrooms down there, make them ADA.
good,
accessible.
yeah, we
Yeah,
could
that
do all
actually
that.
makes, that was brought up.
And what's cool about us, is since we're under 3,000, we actually qualify for a different project, which we can actually get up to $250,000, but we only pay like 15% of that or 10% of 250. So the more we can do in that, I probably have notes on it actually. The more we can do in that is like the bigger that project can be, and is the better for us.
So George Newsom, DCD, would be, should reach out to.
Yes.
Okay.
That's probably where I would start, since we are also enrolled in that other one where you said 10% match on that?
Yeah.
But I just like to know, are we okay with doing this? Because I don't want to have to go through all this aggravation of, hey, I want to make the court right. Now to do that, we have to have handicap walkway to it. Because, people in wheelchairs got to play pickleball too. So being we have to do that, I would like to add right off of that, handicap swings and stuff.
Yeah, all that should be.
That would be in the whole park.
All-
That was, yeah. It
all
doesn't have to be
that-
right next to it.
With-
Well, I figured if we have to do the sidewalk anyways, we just add a little bit more,
Yeah,
and then we got
A
the swings
section.
right there.
Yeah, so what's the full goal of our?
Are we okay with that? Is it
Yes.
okay for me to pursue that? I don't want to do all this and get, well, I don't think we should put the money in the pickleball
Well,
court.
we have to do it in line with what that grant would be.
Right.
Right, so what the grant needs, right, or what the requirements of the grant, that's how we should pursue it. We shouldn't pursue it as, hey, this guy will do the asphalt, this guy will do what, it's.
Well, they do most of everything, the whole works.
But the specifics of what we want to do, we need an engineered drawing. And they kind of break down what that cost would be.
I got all that. I just don't, I want to know if everybody's on board. I don't want to do this and then well, we don't need to put the money in the pickleball court.
Well, as long as it's in line with that whole grant, I'm okay with spending 10% of $250,000 if it's gonna put $250,000 into our park.
Right.
I think what's central is the grant.
Yeah, it's whatever that grant needs.
Yeah, whatever that grant needs. So if, it seems like really the onus is on us between now and the end of the year to get our plan together. So come January, we reach out to George and others, and come January, we get these grants in, because they open up January.
So we're okay with that then? I could pursue this then?
Well, you can't pursue it unless you gotta wait for this to happen.
I understand it, but I don't want to do all this homework and then.
Then go around the
what I'm
table and
saying.
see.
Yeah, I don't think there's a lot of homework that we have to do, is what I'm trying to get at, it's, what are we looking to do? We're looking to expand the pickleball courts, get security cameras, have some handicap accessible stuff down there, right?
Mhm.
Redo the bathrooms, get that plan together, go to Widmer and say, hey, we're looking to get this grant and they're asking for an engineered drawing.
So we're okay with that?
Yeah.
Everybody here is okay with that?
As long as we can get the biggest project out of it, I'm
Okay.
all for
and
it.
when
I
we
just-
do simple drawing.
Because if it comes out to 300,000 or 400,000, and it's gonna cost us 40,000.
Then we break that down to where it's a $250,000 project.
Okay.
So something else might not get done.
Let's skip it,
Yeah.
maybe do it next year or something.
Playground equipment, does that include like anything like that?
So how much
Yeah,
you're saying extending the court?
It all depends on
roughly
what
is
the
gonna
grant
cost?
is. I can't
Yeah,
believe I don't
I
have notes
don't have
with me
it
right now.
on me.
I would think that I would have it.
If you-
Well, it just seems to me that, we gotta let the grant be our guide star.
Guide, yeah.
Yeah, there's like 3 different grants and one of them specifically is for parks and like they cover park safety and like even trails. They would come and redo trails and stuff like that.
And
Nice.
we're okay with working with Widmer to do this? Because we gotta pay Widmer.
They're
Yeah.
here.
So
Whitmer,
they
somebody-
said, how it was explained to me is if you're paying an engineer group to do it, it should take them literally a couple hours to put together because it doesn't have to be super specific, but it has to be an engineered drawing.
It just
Okay.
has to be professionally done.
Yeah, he basically said if I had an engineer background, I could probably produce a drawing that's good enough for the grant. But if I don't, then
All right, so I'm gonna look into that then.
Yeah.
I'll call down the, Widmers and get with them. I'll make a drawing of what I want, take it to them and
They could do it.
let them take it from there.
But why don't we find out, because this is key. You gotta find out what the grant requires. Language, the specs, whatever, and then you fit your plan. And I think we're all on board with the
Yeah.
plan. We gotta fit that into the specs of the grant.
Wasn't that what Widmer does?
Well, we have to let Winter know what the grant is.
what the grants are.
Yeah, you gotta let me know what it is and I'll get with them and
I can't believe
figure this out.
I had like a whole webinar with them, and I would have thought that I would have put it on here. But I'll
I will say one of the working the past 20 years plus years in special education that like with a parking lot with a handicapped accessible, the biggest thing they're gonna look at your who said about the restrooms being accessible? You did.
Nora did.
Nora did.
Mrs. Susan.
Sorry, Aunt Nora. Is that better? But honestly, when you go about it, make sure the parking space van accessible is
Yeah.
wide enough.
I know.
I mean,
Yeah,
But I'm
they'll-
saying-
the engineer group takes care of all that.
Yeah,
The-
and then the actual to the bathroom, like it's totally paved,
Right.
white and all
Yeah,
that.
that's the
Or a
whole,
wheelchair,
that's the
whatever.
whole thing. Like, if we do anything down there and it's
We
not
just give 'em a list
handicap
and they'll do
accessible,
everything.
we're not gonna get a grant for it.
Yeah.
It's to make it accessible to everybody.
I can to a lot of those grants, and if you don't use their language, you don't use the framing that they want to hear.
But that's where Widmer takes
Right
over.
off to the
Okay.
side, next.
Yep.
Okay, good.
Let's do what we gotta do then.
Yeah, we'll get a proposal together, we'll talk about it here, and then
But that,
Okay,
give
let's,
the okay.
let's really be mindful of those grant dates, those opening and closing dates that are on the calendar
Well,
now.
that's why you gotta start now, because it takes forever to get
Get this.
bids and stuff.
Okay, so, preventative and routine maintenance, roads and grounds. We don't have a plan, right? We don't have a plan, Brian. Do we have a plan for when we change the furnace filters, when we do,
Well, I do them about every month and a half, but
okay, but we don't really have a plan for a lot of inspections and stuff like that. I think we should give some thought to creating a preventative and routine maintenance plan.
the
When it
fire
breaks, Brian
extinguishers
fixes
get
it.
done every year.
Make it done. How does that happen?
Guy just shows up, goes through and
Bills us.
does an inspection, puts a new sticker on it, and they bill you.
I'd be curious to know if we have any regulations or things that we need to follow as a space, municipal building, in terms of our, I don't know, maintenance in our facilities. I don't know. But it's something for us, I think we need to start thinking about preventative maintenance, moving forward in that area. Same thing is true with equipment, the next section here, preventative routine maintenance plan for equipment. So that's number 2 there. Equipment requests. When it comes to our paving, we're probably not gonna get any of the big paving done this year. But what can we do? And we don't have to really go and dive into this, but I think we should give some serious thought to how we might invest in equipment that's gonna serve like a hot box, right? An asphalt hot box or a screening bucket, material screening, whatever. I mean, the guy from DC, PennDOT really opened our eyes to what equipment is out there and also what equipment we can rent, right? So there's a lot of stuff we don't even have to buy, but,
When they have that, program, I think we had talked about this recently, in Harrisburg, government, I forget what they called it, surplus.
yeah, we joined that by resolution.
Did we join it? We filled out the paperwork and all that?
Remember that? Yeah, we did that.
Okay, so now, they used to have a place down here in Wheatland. I used to go there. But they closed that up. Now you gotta go to Harrisburg.
Right.
And they have all this stuff online. They got tons of stuff. I actually bought a truck there off of them, and I bought all kinds of stuff there.
I think we need to give serious consideration to getting the equipment that we need to do what we need in the borough.
Well, that's what I'm saying. We should see if they have any of that there.
Right, oh yeah, right. How we do that, the most economical way, yeah, that's the thing, but I think we should get out of our own way and, if we need to invest in some of this equipment, then let's do it, right? Brian, there was something you put on the Bobcat. What was that thing you were telling me?
It was actually a paver that goes on the front of a Bobcat.
Yeah. We could probably do a lot of in-house paving.
I was talking to the guy at Steelmaster. They actually sell the equipment or they rent it. And he said that paver actually go from 18-inch to 60-inch. You just dump the hot pave right into it and just spread it right out with it.
And the sealer stuff.
Is that able to do that with just you and another guy? You can keep up with the hot patch?
You don't need,
yeah,
you don't need a PennDOT crew to do it?
We need another guy who knows what he's doing.
Okay.
Once it's standing
But
around.
liquid fuels money can be used to hire people to work on jobs. Yeah. So there's.
Well, that's easy. Just find somebody that wants to work.
So there is way for us to thread the needle here on this stuff, but I think we just need to think about when an opportunity comes up, let's really give it some consideration, and, you know, if it costs $5,000, $6,000, come on, let's
Well, that's
consider
what
it.
he was telling me, that the, like the hot box, they have them on, they have two different sizes that's actually on a trailer. They got two different sizes that actually is on a, he called it a pallet, but you actually put it up in the back of the truck. And you, and it runs on diesel to keep it hot. Because most of the older ones all ran on propane. And, I was like, well, it runs on diesel, we have that, you know. And,
But what else do we need with that? You gotta saw cut the road for,
yeah,
if you're
got
gonna do the
saw cut
patches, right? You got a
I
lot
mean,
of
we
work.
got
to
that
do.
milling machine for the Bobcat. That's the biggest start of it.
And if we're gonna do
We
something,
have
if
that.
we're gonna do something with our roads, it looks like we're gonna have to do something ourselves with the
Get
roads.
the roll it or anything?
Investing in equipment's gonna be the way to do it.
What's that?
You need to roll it or anything to.
I mean,
Right, we're
well, we did it before, we rented a roller, but
I
we
just
have a
heard that a
roller
little
for the
while ago.
Bobcat.
Oh, okay, okay, oh, I didn't know that.
It's actually a vibrating roller,
Okay.
but, I mean, we did a lot of patching here ourselves,
Mhm.
but, you know, one guy can't do it.
Yeah, well,
Okay, so I do wanna point out here, though,
Bit much.
if, you know, we need proposals, we need like real specs on stuff, something that we could really consider for a purchase here. Because we've got bidding things to think about, we've got a lot of things to think about, so it's true for all of us. We've got a great idea, let's put pen to paper and let's, you know, make it a formal proposal so we can consider it. Chairs and Nora, chairs and tables and stuff. We need to have a proposal. Okay.
Can't get my chair.
Sanitation, solid waste, there's nothing really going on there. Sewer. So, Bill Heaton always had an outfall survey, he tells me, so I put it on our list June 15th to do our 26th outfall survey. You do that?
I can do it, you just gotta tell me how.
Yeah,
Bill
I don't
always
know.
did it.
I don't know, what do we do with that? You know, I guess it's an inspection of the outfalls, if anything needs to be addressed,
no.
fixed.
I think you just gotta go out and inspect them and make sure everything's
Make sure
working.
they're open and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there a copy somewhere?
Well, it probably is. It probably is.
It goes
And
Jake might know something about that. Ask
Right.
him.
Yeah.
Bill's house.
I think there might be some paperwork on that somewhere in all these files, but I'll try to locate that so we can kind of figure out what we're doing. But it was one of those things, why is this important? Because MS4
Right.
is our responsibility. That's all about MS4, right? So if the state comes by and says, oh, you're getting all this silt in your creeks and it's because your outfalls are all
Last time I
screwed up.
remember anything about that is where, you know, he had it mapped of where all the outfalls are.
Yeah, they went around and mapped everything.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
but
So,
wherever he put that, I don't
Let's
know.
get this on our radar, right? Let's shoot for
He's stored it
getting
in
the
a file.
survey
You know
done.
that, he told me
It's
that.
probably on that computer back there.
Could be, yeah. Okay, we don't really have any other stormwater projects going on here. Preventative and routine maintenance for our stormwater sewer system. We don't have a system like that at all in place. Sanitary system, right, we did have a issue on Jean Street. The question came up there about who was responsible if the lateral tie-in was clogged. And the lady who lives there had a clog in her lateral, works for a municipal sewage.
Butler.
She said, hey, some places they have in their ordinances that if the lateral is clogged, or the junction, it's on the borough. And others say, no, it's the main and the lateral, it's on, I mean, if the lateral is clogged there, it's the homeowners. So she actually looked in our ordinances, she didn't find anything. I looked too, I didn't see anything, so, I don't know, is that an issue that we need to address?
Yeah, because.
I had that issue. They pulled something this long, this big around, and that long out of my sewer, right? What happened was, and it was right at the tap in. And Lou was right there to say, oh, no, Lou and Bill were, oh, that's yours, you gotta pay for that,
Oh,
cost
of
me
course.
$3,000.
Yep, mine, yeah.
Of
And
course.
after that, it clogged again. Well, here, right past my clog, in the actual drain, in the burrows, was all backed up. It was all filled full of roots and stuff. So basically, our drain clogged my drain.
Yeah.
And that cost me $3,000 for that.
Right at Thanksgiving.
What do we do with
Yeah, it was Thanksgiving.
Here's the Jean Street issues here. These are the roots. This is where actually they jetted. We paid for jetting. It went right through. We thought it was clear. No, they opened up the street and they found all these roots and stuff. Brian, you did a great job out there working with True Plumbing to get all that solved. But this was an interesting question. Who's going to pay for that lateral junction if it's clogged? Now, obviously, this clog was in our main. Brian, you know, she had roots in her lateral. She had
What's
roots.
that?
She had roots in her lateral too, didn't she?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So she had a problem. We had a problem, right?
So whose fault was it? It was the fault of our sewer probably, because if ours wasn't backed up, hers probably wouldn't have backed up.
Oh, yeah.
But you know, where did the tree roots come from? Her tree?
Well, honestly, it comes down to the legality where the tree, whose property the tree's on.
Your buddy.
Well,
Lou.
Hit on both his trees.
Well, the question here, what I found was interesting, I didn't know about, was that some municipalities do have a specific ordinance that says who's responsible for the lateral junction. We don't, so we ate it, I guess. We're eating this cost. Did you get a bill yet?
Not yet.
Not yet.
What cost?
For us cleaning out this main.
Well, that is ours though.
Yeah, right.
But what about her?
Well, she's gonna have to pay for her.
What'd you find out from other communities?
Well, most of always the lateral is the homeowner's responsibility.
I mean, you can see the pipe right there, it's coming out of hers down into ours.
But the specific this juncture, I mean, she said, look, this is a thing. Because she was trying to say, this is on us. Well, she couldn't find it. And look, if it's not in the ordinance, we're not bound by it, right? But
So she had hers cleaned out first then?
no, it was all clogged. And
So once we had ours cleaned out,
She had hers snaked, and that's pretty much where the bottom of that white pipe is. That's where they stopped. And then when I cambered it, when we took and
Yeah.
stretched the wire out, that's where it stopped at too.
if we
Because I
cleaned
walked the
ours
street.
out, would hers have flown?
no,
No.
But then it is her.
it's her section.
So on Lou, let's bill Lou.
Yeah, but anyway, look, if this is a problem, it's a problem. If not, but anyways, I didn't know about this. I didn't know who else knew about this thing about the lateral.
Yeah.
But I did find examples.
You own the
of
lateral.
ordinances. So, okay. To preventative maintenance of a sanitary system, that's something we probably need to think about, how we do that program. We have a camera. Because we're gonna pay for this sooner or later,
This bill
right?
that we got from AJ, that'll be paid by the sewer fund? Wait a minute, what was,
Could be, sanitary sewer,
yeah,
that could be.
so make sure it's paid out of that one.
The question, how
I'd
long?
say, should we check with Joe to make sure that it can come out of there?
Isn't that, it's all
I just
about
wanna make
sewer,
sure.
cleaning sewers, right?
Yep. Just wanna make sure.
Fixing sewers.
How long could that fund last if we keep dipping into it?
Well, it's either theirs or ours.
Yeah. Okay, we're down to streets. We didn't do a street survey this year, so we have no street paving plan.
We still have time,
We still have time. Okay, I just want to let you know.
but we should make a plan for that.
Calendar date has come and gone for us to do the survey. Big Beaver Borough, I just want to let you know about this. After last council meeting, their engineer said that they were going to pave Norwood. Well, he mentioned from Walsh Run up to Ada Hill, they were going to pave. And I didn't let their president know that residents were complaining about the road and that there was a boundary line there. It was about 60 feet up from Wallace Run. And we were telling the public that above that, that's on Big Beaver. And below that, it's on us. And they were, okay. And the president did say, oh, well, we're gonna do some work on Norwood. So I found this out at the meeting, and my question was like, oh, are they gonna pave all the way down to Wallace Run Road? Gonna pave our section? Do we just stay quiet
Oh, yeah.
on that? Or if they come down and they stop, you know, but we don't have the funds. I don't think we have the funds to be able to say, oh, by the way, we'll pitch in if you stop at that 60 feet.
No, not when we can't even do our own.
We're just gonna let that, be quiet about that.
Mum's the word.
I mean, it's not anything devious. I mean, we have nothing to say about it. I haven't seen the specs on it yet, but anyways, that's what the engineer said, about that property. So, if it gets done, they're gonna lay blacktop over top of the cement, like he said. So, that's that. We do have a road, a street project, the storm drainage project on West 7th and 43rd. So, we talked about how to handle that, because we have to talk to the residents there, explain what we're gonna do. We're gonna have to remove that woman's box around her mailbox and stuff, so whenever you wanna get going with that, let's get going with it, okay?
Get a hold of them and tell them we're gonna take the box out.
Yeah, and then all those neighbors, your neighbors, you know, down, because that, you know, their driveway's right there. We need to talk to them before we do anything, but we need to get on with that.
So we can direct that water to that first drain.
That's right, yeah, we understand the problem, we've documented the problem, we just need to execute and, get that, you know, moving
Okay.
forward, okay? Okay, that's everything for Public Works, unless you guys have anything?
The only thing I want to say is about the water.
That's right, sorry.
I think I have his name written down. I think it's like Robert Black or Bob Black. Basically, I just said, hey, I've had some people complain about the water. He said they're currently in the in process of flushing the lines, and this is causing that odd smell and taste. They said it's normal, this is what they do every single year. This time it's lasting a little longer than it normally does. They've been testing the water, everything's fine to drink and whatnot. On the 6th, they will be performing a burnout, is what he called it, which the water will then smell just like your pool, heavy chlorine smell, then it will return to normal. But they said everything's okay, so. But it's just lasting longer. He said we've been getting a lot of calls too, so yeah, it's pretty bad.
Yeah.
Like a mold, muddy mold taste.
Yeah, but that's what it is. Yeah,
Okay.
it's normal. What they were saying.
Be nice to be
It's
notified,
not.
because it jacks your hot water tank up, because it flushes come through if you don't flush your tank.
Any good welfare announcements? None? Okay. All right, we're going to recess into executive session at 9:27. We're not going to conduct any business. When we come out of executive session, we are going to adjourn this meeting, and they'll be noted on the minutes. Okay, so we're going to go to recess now. Let's recess this meeting at 10:31. We're going to come back into session. And from the executive session at 10:32, and seeing that we have covered all of our agenda items, I declare the meeting adjourned at 10:32.